Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this evening's presentation of Tabletop Roleplay Theater. I am Bethany, and I am the Dungeon Mistress for the Land of Dark Dreams campaign setting. We are a few members short this evening, though you will of course recognize Vitaly, Lake, Michael, and Connor. We are all here. Sean will be joining us later, while Zoe is currently enjoying herself for a happy birthday. We all wish her one and hope she enjoys the revelries for the rest of the evening, such as she may have them.
Happy birthday, Zoe, if you're not watching.
Birthday.
Maybe she is.
Happy birthday!
She's
We're gonna embarrass the crap out
watching.
of you. I don't think we have any announcements today from the voice of God. He shook his head earlier when I asked him, and nobody else got anything they want to talk about before we play? No?
I hope you all have a great day.
You
wear
should.
a mask.
Let's not get on that field of play, because...
Oh, is that? Oh, yeah, I guess that is a problem nowadays.
It's fine. Anyways, D&D.
Anyway, we're going to play some D&D today, so let's get started with tonight's episode of The Land of Dark Dreams. Welcome back. So, where we last left off, the adventures of misfortune carried you into the realms beyond the material, and after taking a quest from Kalis, you found yourselves standing in the obsidian spire on the realm of Niflheim. There, you met an individual you hadn't expected, a half-dark elven woman who calls herself Elora Goodmane, the daughter of Nikolai Goodmane, and presumably of Shalenthal, two members of the Dawnspire. You conversed with her for a good time on what to do with the soul of her father, who was trapped in a glass jar and transformed into a shining golden lotus, a representation of his soul. Eventually, she conceded to allow you to take him, despite his crime of murdering her before she was even born. With the permission from her mysterious caretaker, Adraxia, you brought her back to Marcera and purchased yourself some clothes for both her and for you. You then completed a few other errands of shopping before continuing on with the day's activities. So, Mr. Fortune, what would you like to do?
I mean, is this the next day? How much time has
same day.
passed?
Okay.
Same day.
Same place.
So I think we had gotten to, they were clothes shopping for people.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie.
23. Bernard, were you coming with me? I can't remember.
He went to the conservatory after placing.
Right.
Yeah.
And 23 was going to the trade district. What's it called? The industrial district to buy stuff.
Industrial ward, yes.
Have those feelings that were part of some of us gone away at this point?
Not yet.
Or not yet? Okay, I guess I'm staying.
Oh, sorry. Reynard's goal was to go to the Conservatory of the Arcanum. He was going to try and do research on people who, despite having died, still had physical bodies, because he's trying to figure out why the hell Elora can walk around on the prime material as a person, not a spirit.
Roman is going to pick up the purple suit that he ordered all that time ago.
It is gaudy and purple with gold trim.
Perfect. He's going to buy a mask to match it for the ball, and he's also going to buy just a full face mask because he believes he needs it. And then he is going to, if everyone's going on their own way, he is going to go his own way, and he's going to go across the bridge, hopefully.
Okay.
And we are all well known at this point, so you.
All right.
Question for the peanut gallery.
Hmm?
Who's got a Goodmane?
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. What?
That would have been Core. I don't think she ever let him go.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
yeah.
No, I had Goodmane because I
You
took
do?
it from
Oh,
Elora, and
Yep.
so Reynard has Goodmane.
You're
Noted.
studying it up, yeah.
Well, I wasn't studying Goodmane. I'll just keep a
Holding
hand
on to it.
Yes. I trust myself to watch this.
What? You don't trust any of the rest of us? No.
Okay.
I'm good with flowers.
Answered that fast.
When you are traveling to the Conservatory of Reynard, you can see a familiar dark-robed figure approaching you. The long black hair and the leather duster looks very similar to Talric.
All right. And he's approaching me.
Yes.
And I'm here by myself, so Reynard just kind of sighs and waits for him to come up before saying, "So, is there a reason that I'm being met here out in the middle of here?"
I would just like to say that I think we should have a conversation. The 2 weeks are up.
2
We
weeks.
being you and Misfortune.
Right, the 2 weeks are up. Well, we're kind of in the middle of something right now, but I'll be sure to pass the message along and we'll handle it to the best of our ability.
Of course. It's some intelligence I think you might need for the coming festivities.
Of course. I'll be sure everyone who needs to know knows, and then we'll come along when we can.
Certainly. He'll put his hands in his pockets and walk on. Who's got Elora?
She's at the. That's me.
She's at the
Sean,
shop with.
yeah.
We left her
Sean
with
too.
Elbeth.
Yeah. So
Okay.
she's with me and Cerulean.
Okay. She is shopping, and you can see she's picking out a lot of clothes that you wouldn't have associated with her. She seems to be really eyeballing a tube top and a nice pair of pants.
Oh, that's interesting. What is that outfit going together?
Yes. Yes.
Does it look like it'll look attractive?
She got a pretty good charisma score. I mean, for a dark elf showing off that much skin,
I'm just
depends
gonna.
on where you go.
That's true. I'm gonna have this conversation with her again. Just be like, remember that thing we talked about where certain people get a little bit about skin tone?
Sure.
I love the outfit. You're probably not going to wear it on the streets.
Oh no, this is for training.
That case, it's wonderful, and you look stylish.
Do you have a place I can train?
Deck of our ship is big.
Big enough. Get around.
I'll kind of be like,
It's just
Come on.
exercises, nothing crazy.
the deck of our ship is absolutely wonderful for such things. I occasionally use it for target practice.
Core is twitching somewhere.
Look, I fix the things. I fix the little arrow things in the mast. She never notices.
Okay. She'll
She's
just
killing me.
just giggle at that and okay.
No,
Renard, going to the conservatory, you're going to spend some time researching. How much time are you going to dedicate to it?
Well, that depends on how much time we're going to have. He's going to place his order for his masquerade outfit by tomorrow morning, no later. And he's pretty much going to spend any free time they have here doing that research.
You have 2 weeks of more or less free time.
Sure, that sounds like a good start.
Okay. We'll go ahead and make a Arcana check for me.
There we go.
These always go well for you.
24.
That one
Wow.
went well for you.
Okay. Every book that you were able to find in the first 3 to 4 hours indicate that it should not be possible for a person who has died to have their corporeal body. It should not be possible. That leads to one of two conclusions. She's not dead, or she never died.
Right.
How? Sorry, I'm not there.
He will consider that, and then as he sits there contemplating it, he's going to realize the person he would probably ask for this we've known is probably the big bad controlling everything, because transmutation is the first place I would go trying to understand something about this. There's no necromancy, so well,
Could ask her dad.
why the hell would he ask his dad?
No, you could ask her dad. You have him in a jar.
Oh, sorry. I heard your dad, not her
Yeah.
dad.
Her dad. You could ask her dad.
Did you really kill your daughter?
Yeah, I suppose if he's just spending this time and Nikolai is literally just like an ornament on the desk, eventually he would just kind of try and make contact and be like, so I don't suppose at this point you want to start spilling secrets, Nikolai. There's a lot of stuff going on, and I imagine if you've had time in that tower and she's as up to date as things on as you are, then if there's anything you could tell us, now would be the time.
The way he expresses his words are not true words as you understand them. It's more feelings and images of certain things. Go ahead and make a wisdom check to
Okay.
kind of comprehend what he's saying. 17. All right. The first images that appear are of Shanthal that you can recognize. Beautiful, charming, lots of personality for this particular lady. In a lot of them seem to focus on her temper, her anger, her rage, and her fits of passion where she was liable to help you as much as she was to steal your horse. But in addition to that, it seems to convey that the more time she was around, the more time she grew, the more powerful she became, and as a consequence, so too did her temper just as grow, to the point that there were a lot of people who are very afraid of her. And that fear seems to have translated to Elora in a sense that she might have inherited some of her mother's traits.
Okay. Well, that is an explanation of how she managed to learn whatever control of a demi-plane she did while she was stuck in the middle of a far-off plane in the middle of God's nowhere. I don't suppose you could teach me a little bit more about exactly what happened. I understand, or at least I believe I understand, this fear that you had of what may become of her, what she may be used for, but there's got to be more to it than that.
Make another wisdom check.
5.
This particular image is of raw, unfiltered chaos, where you can see a battle raging across a field of 1,000 and 1,000 soldiers. Many different Dawnspire members are there battling. Silent Dark members are there battling. Undead are there battling. But you can see Shanthal gathering magical energy and people screaming at her to stop. You can see above her head a colossal sized ball of fire. If you were to measure it from one end to the other, it'd be probably the size of a city.
I don't understand. I mean, from what I've seen, what we've learned of the Dawnspire, there was belief that what Shalanthal was doing was wrong, but what does this have to do with his daughter having a physical body?
The next image show Chantal's body falling to the ground, collapsing, and then turning to ash.
Oh, shit. Of course. You were trying to keep another Shalenthal from coming into the world.
There is a confirmation of agreement at that.
The fact
And
that
the next image you see is a smoking crater, far as wide as you can see, miles across. And as it pans out, it looks like a giant crater somewhere in Adania, far north of where you were before.
I have a feeling I know where that is. We never went there, but we saw... Wow, there are enough maps to show us that. Well, Nikolai, I'm still not sure if what you did is right, but at the very least, I'm not going to hold it against you for the time being, as we have far more important matters to handle. You do know that at the moment we are dealing with a conspiracy in the city that, well, it has the Silent Dark written all over it, and as long as we're dealing with them, you're going to be in danger. If there's anything you could know, anything you could tell us, anything that you could give us information about the Dawnspire that may be useful. I mean, you were there when the Dawnspire castle went down, weren't you? Do you know where it is?
There's a moment where there is a pause, as if he was not really willing to give that information out.
Okay, I mean, I suppose you could be suspicious of me if you want, but let's face it, if anyone is going to sit here and try and stop them, I hate to admit that it might be us that have the best chance now, but come on. Listen, if we're not ready or some bull roar like that, then you can tell me and I'll live with it for the moment, but if there's something there that can lead us to figuring out how to put a stop to this, then wouldn't knowing sooner be better than later? I'm not promising that we're going to run off and try and find it right now. I'm just saying, if we have an idea of where we can start to look when the time comes, every moment might matter. I may not be able to talk with you then. If it's something I need to keep secret, I can do that.
Make a persuasion check.
20.
There is another long pause before the image fades, and you can see a forest, great and vast, spanning out in all directions. And you can see a beautiful, glistening castle, marbled and bannered, overlooking an ocean. It's like it's on a coast, a cliff coast. And you watch as one sudden it just falls and crashes onto the coast, parts of it going into the forest and more parts of it going into the ocean. As if something about it just ceased. It is worth noting that when you saw it, it was already ruined, flying in the sky, as if something had been there, a great battle had taken place there already.
Reynard is going to switch his study here from looking into that into basically pulling out any atlases, landscapes he can find in the library. He's going to see if he can't find something that seems similar to what he saw, something that strikes a chord that might be familiar.
Make a survival check with advantage.
Survival, okay.
Oof.
Not exactly a check I would have wanted, but sure.
Most you can gather is it's on the Whisperwood, somewhere along the coast. And that's a lot of territory.
He's going to put his research materials away back where he found them. Very cautiously to ensure that nothing looked like it's been disturbed or anything that's pulled out. And with that, he's just going to, I guess, take the rest of the day to go and see Selen, spend time with her.
Okay. She's spending most of the day in one of her classes. This one appears to be geography. Local
Renard
geography.
curses the fates for their cruel sense of humor.
Local geography. Very well.
Yeah, he'll spend time sitting in, not really paying attention. He'll scrub some scrolls while he's busy because there's some stuff he has to get done. But that'll be all for me.
All right. 23. You're going to go shopping in the industrial ward, yes?
I'm looking for a quote.
You're looking for a quote on 500 pounds of adamant.
Yes.
So jealous I'm not there for this. Hilarious.
Let's see. I have an old journal that was the value of metals back in the day. I do. All right. Well, going into one of the local places, let's see if I can pull up my maps of.
We haven't ended the industrial ward yet, I don't think, have we?
You have been there yet? No. Major settlements, industrial ward. Here we go.
Okay.
The place you are going is called Ores and More.
Yeah.
And inside, a dwarf will actually list off a series of prices at the cost per pound of various metals. What is very likely to make you balk is a pound of adamantine is 600 gold.
Okay.
But you can also see other stuff in there. Mithril, brass, bronze, cold iron, electrum, gold, tin.
How much is the mithril for a pound of mithril?
A pound of mithril.
And I will speak in Dwarvish if it helps.
You speak Dwarvish?
I do. Because I'm a
Oh,
belt of Dwarven kinds.
holy cow. It is 4,500. Not 45, 450.
Okay. For a pound. All right. I'm going to take my leave. And then I'm gonna solemnly go back to the ship.
Okay. Roman, where are we going?
I'm probably going for a short walk through the as we call it back in the day, the Lolo.
I'm
Probably by where I used to live.
Okay.
And then I will look for someone who sells flowers, ideally in like the imperial color, like the blues and whites.
Crap, I got a costume for this. Let me be right back.
Oh gosh. No flower
No, we'll
sellers.
save that for Halloween. Okay, yeah, it costs you a couple copper.
Roman will just go ahead and pay a silver to speed up the transaction, as he's kind of
You just
antsy.
made a flower girl's life very happy.
Yep, I am just picking over the choice ones that are blue and white to have a solid bouquet. And then I am going to go look for my mother's grave.
Since Marcera actually does not have a grave site anywhere, all bodies are turned to ash as part of the ritual to keep the undead problem at bay. Has been like that for a very long time. But
Okay.
you can go to the House of Repose, if you wish.
Okay. I probably would know that. So I'll go
Yeah.
to the House of Repose and see if I can find them and then inquire about other people.
All right. This particular gentleman that you meet as kind of almost like a door guard, but definitely a very solemn-looking gentleman, has an absolutely marvelous mustache, bright green skin for a half-orc, and just a little bit of a goatee. There we go. What are you looking for?
How do I look up certain family names, just see where they are? I'm just
We have a registry if you would like to look.
that would be perfect.
Okay. He will take you in past a series of corridors and smile at you, and then he will hand out a last name, as he says.
Gallo.
Gallo. And he will pull out a hefty tome and just start. Got a few of them. And he will show you the list. Some of them are actually not related to you, at least as far as you know, but you do see your mother and father's names in the list.
Yep. So he will go ahead and he'll point at the two names. Are they together?
They are.
Okay, makes things easy. Can you show me the way, or is there? And he'll look back down and see if there's like a location on there.
He will just gesture for you to go. It's down this hall. Follow left.
Thank you. And there's not any other people like burying people down there, and I don't want to be rude.
No, there's nobody else down there right now. Just
Okay.
a few other mourners, I think.
I'll give him space, and he'll just kind of. He's also just looking around to see if there's any suspicious characters, just in case. But
make a reception check.
I will. So that is with disadvantage.
14. Okay, you don't see anybody outside the ordinary.
Okay.
Just the other people that are there look to be robed, brown, drab, but nothing you can really tell that's out of the ordinary or crazy. They all look the same. Some of them are taller than shorter, but they all wear the same brown robes and a face mask.
He is definitely keeping a wide berth of anyone just the samey, because he's just getting this just uneasy vibe by them, and he's going to make his way down to the gallows section.
About 2 minutes down, you go down a series of nice, well-swept marbled corridors into a smaller antechamber that's domed, and you can see stacked 5 high in some places are urns in their own little cubbies, and one of which is, or 2 of which I suppose, are your mother and father's.
Oh, I have not been here in a long time. And he's just going to go over and see if there's a spot he can put them in when he realizes, are they in the same cubby or different cubbies?
Different cubbies.
Oh, God. And he's going to, like, awkwardly try and find a place to put down the flowers. Probably in somebody else's cubby. And he's going to, like, try and halve out the flowers so it's equal parts.
Somewhere somebody is offended.
Yeah, he'll probably be like, he'll like look back at the urn, and they'll take one flower out from, he'll like look between piles, and he'll just take a white flower out and kind of leave it next to that one. Sorry. And then he'll try and wrap them back up as best he can with whatever paper he has, if he has to rip them or not, and just kind of awkwardly stick them both up there. And hey, Dad, Mom, and he'll kind of look around. God, how old am I now? 14 years? Yeah. 14. I have a beard now, and I don't think I'm a criminal anymore. I mean, probably, but I've met some new people. Hopefully you weren't watching the whole time, but maybe you watched at the Crimson Witch part. I did good there. Some people like me. And then he's just gonna start scanning to see what like other people are doing, to see if there's anyone else in the room, like how he's supposed to do this.
About 5 feet away from you is a maybe 4'11" girl in a brown robe and a face covering, just kind of watching you.
Mm-hmm. He'll just kind of like half step away from her, and he's like, "Should I be wearing a mask?" And he'll step back. He's like, "Should I be wearing a mask when I do this? I bought one."
She just shakes her head. No, you'll fine. The voice is familiar. You've heard it before.
Do I know you?
Well, we've met before on your ship.
He's just going to run through his memory who might fit that voice and description.
Make a history check.
I couldn't she have gone shopping?
You're trying to really, really rack your mind for who this is, and it takes you a good 30 seconds for, that's the frickin' Queen of Reichfell.
Yeah, I was like, oh, different ship. Okay. And as you see, he was like one. His main hand was like out here, like trying to think, and his like offhand is going for a blade, and he was worried about other ships. He's like, oh, what brings you down here?
Hiding? What brings you here? Or like, never mind. Silly question.
And he'll kind of just point both of them. You know, when you miss a funeral, you probably should show up even if you're 14 years late. So how's working in a, what do they call this place again? Repository?
The House of Repose. It's where they store the dead bodies
Yeah.
for internment. Yes. Ever since the second calamity with all the undead problems they had from the stillborn, custom became to burn the bodies.
Makes sense. Better than what we did on my other ship.
I'll leave you alone. I'm sorry to bother.
Yeah, I don't want to, it's you, it's me.
Indeed, it's just us.
Mm-hmm. But am I doing this right? I haven't done it. It's been 14 years. Is there like a proper way, like a Marsaran way we're supposed to do this?
Did you love them?
I mean, they were my parents, of course. I mean, I didn't know my mother, but my father basically raised me as mother and father, and 10 years old, and things happen, and then you're a pirate. Yes.
Pretending that I'm not queen for a moment. Then that's enough. There's a kitty on screen.
Kitty cam.
Just for my reminder here, DM, she's not actually the queen, right? She's the princess because she hasn't been because she hasn't
She's
become
not
the queen.
crowned yet, but yeah.
She's not the crowned queen.
Yeah, there's like, stuff happens, but hey, I saved Crimson Witch, so maybe that balances it out.
I should like to know what happened about that one day.
Crimson Witch?
All of it.
Well, you know where to find us, and it's safe, but I mean, I wouldn't recommend it now, but I should
You're being watched pretty significantly. I think I'll avoid that.
Yeah, maybe. So, I'll thank you more. I don't know what your job is.
I sweep.
Thank you, sweeper girl.
She'll bow her head silently and just prat off barefoot.
And he'll just kind of look. I'll tell you about that one another time. As she said, I'm being watched.
Roll a d100.
That's never nerve-wracking.
You feel judged. You don't know why, you don't know where, but you're feeling judged.
Oh, he knows. Well, hey, I had a moment. I didn't want to. The city's really weird right now. I wanted to come over earlier, but it's a lot. I'll bring everyone by later. It's good seeing you. And yeah, we'll talk later. And he'll probably sit there for probably another 5-10 minutes just silently, and then he'll leave.
Okay. Time will pass, and that evening I suppose you all will reconvene at the Dawn Runner, excuse me. On the bow of the ship, you can see Elora in a tube top and a pair of yoga pants, essentially. Looks like she's performing some form of martial arts on the deck, just training herself.
Tempest will probably watch and just be like,
She's good. She's pretty good.
Roman will probably go up to Tempest. Is that the training outfit you went with?
oh, she picked it all on her own. I'm not saying it's not wonderful, though. Told her not to wear it in public, though, unfortunately, around here.
Oh,
You're muted, like,
I can see that. I don't think the clothes she's going to wear is going to matter.
well, unfortunately, the hooded ensemble might be the best option at the moment.
can always go for a mask, like show off the full mask that he got.
Oh, there are some wonderful masks in that shop. I was looking for ages.
I just grabbed the first two I saw, and the only one that matched my purple suit, the Slim Pickens.
I went with like a teal and like slight purple. It's very It's very nice.
I'll pick mine up in a few weeks. I feel like Elbeth might have to work on mine a bit.
Just find an outfit that goes with what I found. Not really a fan of the purple thing normally, but Roman, I think you may be onto something.
I said it seems like everyone here likes to wear muted color, so I'm just going to explode with color in their face because, why not? And I'm actually kind of surprised, Renard, that you don't already have some kind of lavish ball gown, being who you are.
I mean, I do have several suits of clothing that I could wear, but for this, I'm getting something made specific.
Oh, should we do that? Or I was just going to buy something.
That's up to you. This is something of a coming home for me. I haven't been home in Marcera for 2 weeks, and the last time I attended a noble function, I don't like people, so I was not necessarily the best representative of my house. I felt like going this time, I should either try very hard to be on my best behavior, or I should try very hard to not be there at all. And since I can't exactly avoid going...
Right. I've never felt that way about you, Renard. You seem to love people.
You are a worse liar than 23.
Pretty good liar.
I'm trying not to laugh, unfortunately, right now. So...
By the way, I ran into somebody on my way to the Arctic Conservatory. We have a meeting, if we can all get together tomorrow in the... This is Renard forgetting. This is the player forgetting. Renard would remember. It's either the upper lower mark ward or the lower mark ward.
He just asked for a meeting. Where was not specified.
Well, I assume they're going to want us to show up at
Sure.
their hideout, because that would be the easiest place to meet up with them.
Sure.
We should probably go there tomorrow if everyone can get together.
Sounds good to me.
Where are we going? You can hear Elora just nearby.
She's going to have to show me that move. That's a good one.
You spend 200 years in a tower all by yourself with the only thing present to talk to is a monk, and imagine what you might pick up.
Oh, the magical monk ball. Maybe he can teach me things.
Renard looks down at it and says, What do you say, Nikolai? Do you want to teach Tempest something?
If ever there was a metaphorical middle finger.
It's me. We hate each other.
Well, he just doesn't feel like it at the moment.
All right, I guess.
You can fight me if you want.
Dibs.
I will. I wanted to do it 23. She asked me.
Oh, we can do a 3.
I can fight you both at the same time.
Wait, 23. We wanted to do that duel thing. Remember?
We can do a 3v and all versus all.
Oh, I'll fight you both at the same time. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. That's not
All right.
happening. I've been practicing
I
my
have to arrange this for a second. Excuse me. I had not anticipated this battle.
a duel.
Cerulean, we might need you out here in a minute.
Hold on. Healing my dad.
I have to load the Dawnrunner map. Load Dawnrunner map.
Load! What, Beth? You weren't prepared for an impromptu fight between the players?
Yes. Renard is going to get Cerulean, by the way. He's also going to get Tamari, because I imagine Tamari would love to watch this too.
Okay. Horse does not need to be on the map. I will just put Tempest here, 23 here. I'm moving everybody over there. I need to put...
Oh, would we have had time to like rest it up and like short rest it if we're gonna duel each other?
Sure. Sure.
It's for fun.
Now I have to put Elora on the battle map. Did I make a token for her? I don't think I did. I built the stat block, but I don't think I built the token.
Oh no, did we mess everything up?
Nope, just a blank square. I'll fix that. That's an easy fix.
Do you want to fix that? I had a conversation I needed to have with Renard.
Sure.
If you want to work on that. Renard, before we get started, I have some problems we need to talk about in the Placey place.
Sure, I'm going to get Cerulean and Tamari anyways. We can stop by there for a moment.
Don't start without me, I swear to God, I'll kill you both.
I'm just like stretching. I'm like, "Ugh, just
Start
kidding."
without him. I want to see him mad.
I don't want him mad.
Mm.
Go by the war room, stop by there.
Okay.
Reynard will actually set Nikolai in the center of the war room and say, if there's any way I can think of that you would be safe that we are in contact with, this will be it.
So, I'm what some items might be called broken.
You mean people might refer to as broken, 23?
Well, this is more people get sick. I guess you could consider this getting sick. I guess I'm sick.
I believe the term
guess.
Kevin used was malfunctioning.
Malfunctioning would be a word, yes. It might be self-induced.
Self-induced? What have you done?
So we went to remember when we went to
The Stoke estate?
the Restoke estate, yes, and I got all my stuff done, and we were supposed to figure some stuff out.
23, she didn't tamper with you, did she?
Oh, a lot, my friend. Quite a bit. I can't do zappy stuff anymore.
You can't harness your electrical functions.
At all. Not
At
even
all.
the slightest. I actually was... I might have given someone a high five down the street, and I think there's this thing called static electricity, and it hurt a little bit, and I was like, oh, that never happens. And I'm a bit nervous, to say the least.
Well, conducting an electrical current with your metal armor would be terrifying. I wouldn't want to experience static electricity when your entire body is particularly conductive. But at the same time, why didn't you bring this up earlier? I'm watching you. I could see that you weren't using any of these abilities. I wasn't aware they were fully on disabled.
Well, I didn't know if there was an appropriate time. Everyone's been busy doing, their own stuff for the past couple of days. So, also, it's a little embarrassing.
Embarrassing.
I mean, imagine if like someone was like, "Oh, Renaud can't cast fire spells anymore." Like the whole thing you're about. I mean, how immediately would you tell everyone, or would you try to resolve it yourself first?
Well, I'm probably not the best example of an example in that regard, but I mean, I do have some confidants I would refer to. Angela would probably be the first I'd refer to. I'm not sure if that's besides the point, 23. The
Yes.
point is, something is wrong, and we need to figure out how to fix it. Now, I'm afraid I'm not particular on Warforged construction. I don't exactly know how to repair a member of your species. That's beyond my skill set.
No, but you're a fairly smart individual.
Sure. I mean, if there's something I could learn in a way I could figure it out, I could certainly give it a shot.
And there's also a book that we need, I think. And it's a spell book, which you have a spell book, which means it's the same thing, right? You can use it, probably. I hope. Please tell me you can use it.
I mean, if it's a spell book, I could certainly make an effort at understanding it. It's more complicated than just being able to use it, but if it is written in an arcane hand, I would be able to decipher it without too much difficulty. At least I have to assume.
Good, which is great, because now we have a lead to where it might be.
Well,
And I hope 23 will gesture to the Golden Lotus.
Look over towards the Golden Lotus. Do you think Nikolai knows where it is?
I think he knows the person who had it, and where they might have kept it.
Well, it was Celia's, wasn't it?
Yes.
But I have to be honest with you, 23. My speculation is that it's being used by... I have to double check who this individual is, because...
The Archmage of Transmutation.
Yes, him, Balthazar.
No.
Balthazar is the Archmage of Enchantment.
Madison Croft is the Archmage of Transmutation.
Madison Croft. That individual. Yes. I believe that Madison Croft is the one who has the hands on the spellbook, 23. I think they're the ones who was using it to create the constructs in the city.
How'd you figure out this information?
It's not so much figured it out as guesswork. The more we look into this, the more it seems obvious that the Archmages of Transmutation is, well, they haven't been necessarily upholding all their duties in the city, and the more we hear about them, the more they've got their hands in the silent dark business. Considering their capability, I have to assume that Celio herself was quite gifted at transmutation magic. That'd be a question for Core, not myself. Or Nikolai, so he'll reach over and just ask, see if he can get confirmation from Nikolai.
23 will also put his hand on the Golden Lotus.
She's the best around.
Yes.
What he will tell you about Celia is she was an extremely talented, a little odd, one of those brilliant mind types, if you catch the meaning.
Reynard will just look offended.
Really, 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 really smart, but at the same cost of it, there's a few fries short of a Happy Meal.
Reynard just looks offended. I guess certain individuals who delve in certain types of magic all go a little Sartarian when it comes to creation, but he's definitely not here.
He's not there. It's just only making
If
noise.
only.
His ears are burning, though. I feel like the reason that this is all going on is that they managed to get their hands on it. I don't know where, but Nikolai, I don't suppose you do know where that would have been lost?
No.
Very well. Well, that's it. That's, I think, a good start. Just urgency is needed.
23, if we manage to find this book, I promise you that anything that I could find in it, I will first and foremost go to ensuring that we can fix whatever problems are going on with you.
Wonderful. Also, Nikolai, question. I'm about to fight your daughter for funsies. Any tips? Any weaknesses? Tips? Tips or weaknesses?
Good luck.
Anything that might throw her off a little bit? Just a little, hey, this is a gift from
You get the
Dad.
impression that you're asking for advice to hit on his daughter.
Not hitting on your... Nope.
Mm-hmm.
No, not where I was going, but okay. At all. And I will go... All right, well, that's that.
Okay.
He's a lot more protective than I would have imagined when his daughter's about to fight a robot. That is a sentence I did not think I'd ever have to utter in my life.
I think I'm offended. All right. I will go fight. And I will leave.
When I see 23 coming up, I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on myself because I know things are about to get warm up. We're about to start.
Reynard will just knock on Cerulean's door. He's not going to call him away from his father, but he'll just make him know if there's an emergency, front and center, toot sweet.
Okay.
It's okay. I'll heal everyone once I win.
What if you're the one who loses?
Then I can't heal myself.
Oh, and by the way, this is something we glassed over. The Dawn Runner was still flying up in the air, so in order to get it down, I imagine Reynard would cast Fly on himself and Core to go up and get it. Okay. That is something that I did have in consideration.
You can never get your ship back.
No. That'd be silly.
Right. Yes. You see Elora is on the deck. Looks like she's throwing a few just shadow punches in the air. You can see Bertram's there. A handful of the guards are there. There's a lot of people who are gathered up, as if this is not something they wanted to miss.
Swinging the sword around, getting ready, because I'm knowing it's going to happen.
Scratching Tamari under the chin.
Roman is
Dragon coup.
Making bets.
Roman is sitting crisscross. He's got the sword out, and he's got the mirror facing towards it, like it's a camera, so that way Inari can see. And he is just sitting out talking to it and asking it like who Inari thinks is going to win, and if he wants to take money on it. And you can see like he's got coins out, like they're both betting.
The warbling effect that you can hear from Inari seems to imply that she doesn't know. She's never seen Elora, but she can sense that there's a lot of personality to this girl.
So you're taking the drow, huh? I'll still go with 23. I'll take that action, and I'll put up like 2 gold against Inari's 2 gold.
I have no hands. I can't bet gold.
How is your sword betting?
It's just my gold I'm putting in front of the sword.
2 gold.
Quick, Roman, put me all in! Put me all in!
I'll trade masters to see how good she is.
I just imagine you're like 2 gold. If I win, next time I die, you save my life. Cool.
Yeah, my life is worth 2 gold. I'm not offended.
Oh, there is not a lot of room here.
So Elora will just crack her neck from one side to the other. All right, rules.
No killing
Don't
blows. Clearly.
die!
Yes, clearly. I'm not going to use. Actually, no Dawn artifact abilities.
I don't have any. I don't have any.
Nothing that'll cause damage to the ship.
Yes, and if
Yeah,
Cole
cool.
does see any damage to the ship, she's going to kill you.
I did a lot of scrubbing last time.
Okay, sounds easy enough.
What else is there?
Crack. Tim's is like jumping on the balls of his feet, just like.
Yeah, as Elora starts throwing a couple casual punches, you can see off her fingertips are little sparks of fire.
Oh, she's got magic. Okay.
Also, no fly.
I can't
I
fly.
can't.
No, I was looking at Tempest.
I can't fly. I've already done that today.
No, I was just checking because it's kind of cheating, especially when I'm.
Did you really fly, or did you more like fall than float?
It's more like falling with style.
That's not what I called it when you
He
screamed.
ballooned.
I
Very
came.
well.
I fell and then I came back up slowly.
Somebody call it, and she will drop herself. She's bouncing from foot to foot, then she just stops. Call it.
Bernard will
Really?
shoot a firebolt off into the air like a like a starting gun.
Oh.
Wow, you guys smoked her.
Okay. This is weird. I'm not used to looking at 23 like an enemy.
Oh, it's
said
not
she's
free
gonna take
fall,
a
it's
spell
2
time.
versus 1.
Huh?
It's 2 versus
Oh.
1.
I
Yeah,
thought
you're
we were.
fighting her.
Oh, I thought this was a free for all.
For the moment that he said that, I just imagined 23 turning to Tempest and his eyes just go red, like hostile.
23 are fighting her apparently. Wow, that was fancy actually. Boom, boom. All right, I guess we'll fight her. And I've got a bad feeling about this, but I'm gonna lay into her some shots.
Okay.
I know what monks do. I know what they do.
They do work.
I know, but she can't block them all.
I'm
Eh,
sorry.
that's fine. All right, Whisper. Let's do what we do. Was that a natural
Draw
one?
and arrow falls.
Son of a bitch. It's okay. I'm just testing the bowstring. 19.
Does not hit.
Son of a bitch.
As it fires, she just kind of tilts her head to the left and sails past her.
Tempest, I have money on you. Let's go.
I hope he didn't
Did you?
bet much. His accuracy so far is a little disappointing.
It's not my fault. You just. And I'll just kind of ready my. I've got the rapier. Nah, I won't get the rapier ready yet. Okay, I'm just ready for an attack coming my way. 23's turn.
23.
23 is going to Rajay.
Oh, she has just the biggest grin on her face. Come on.
And I'm going to go forward. And I'm going to smack.
Okay.
Because that is what I do. That one. 25.
25 will hit.
Rolling Baron Main.
Pardon me.
Good hit 23.
Second attack.
17. Okay.
11.
As you swing the first blow, she uses her reaction. It's almost like you saw how Skather did with missiles, but in this particular instance, she takes your hammer and just seems to twirl it against you and causes it to swing down and forward. She's going to make an attack roll using your weapon.
Excuse me?
And hits you.
It's deflect everything.
Deflect melee. Turn melee. As you crack yourself in the knee for 11 points of bludgeoning and 3 points of rage. Hard to sleep.
He's like, I'm out.
My food came.
Oh, she just walked away.
No.
Hell with this lady. You smack yourself for 11 points of bludgeoning and 3 points of rage damage right in the kneecap.
Okay.
You have the bludgeoning at least, right?
He's raging.
Yeah, so that's 14 divided by... Okay, so 7 points of damage.
Okay.
Okay, that's my turn.
She is going to twirl about you, and looks like she's going to punch you in the face, but she swings her hand wide, and it turns into a ball of fire and flings at Tempest, where she does 3 rapid punches, and bolts of fire launch off of them at Tempest.
Disadvantage because it's range attack and she's next to 23?
It is disadvantaged.
Okay, I have 21 AC.
1, 2, 3. Only one of them hits.
Take 1 over 3.
As you are blasted in the face for 16 points of fire damage.
Son of a... Alright, let's make that constitution save. Alright, keep it.
All right, that's her turn. And she's going to twirl about 23 again and interpose himself between the two of you. She's quick. Now it's Tempest's turn.
I run over here, kind of roll 2 shots.
Okay.
I don't know why I made 3 noises, but
DM question. Can I
Yes, sir.
use my inspiration to give Tempest disadvantage by distracting him real quick?
I don't think inspiration works like that.
That's why it was a
So.
DM question.
It doesn't work. It's not reverse inspiration.
I was like, what?
27 will hit.
8 points of piercing damage.
She is going to use her reaction
I figured.
to deflect missiles. And
Surprise!
She doesn't even need to roll that. She'll counter that gate. And that'll hit you. You take 8 points of piercing damage as she
What This 21 is not doing me any good. I gotta be honest.
makes you feel better. I rolled a 28 against you.
It doesn't. Not at all. Alright. I was prepared for that, but here comes the second shot.
Don't forget con save.
Oh, yes, thank you. Yep, still good. Second shot. 27 again.
27 will hit. This damage she will take. Is it?
The second one comes right in, and since I know she's used her action, I will use an action surge and get some more shots in while I can. 31.
That'll hit.
8. Rolling these 8s. And a 26.
That'll hit.
9 points.
Okay.
And then that was 5, 10, 15, 20. I'll use the rest of my movement to get back into place.
All right. 23.
23 is going to bonus action, attempt to shield Trevor to the ground.
Okay.
Athletics. Nah, it's going to fail.
Yeah, not even close. You shove her down, but immediately she just kind of springboards back up.
As she backs up, and as she comes back, I'm going to try to smack her in the head with a hammer.
Okay.
It was a delay tactic!
1.
21 would just hit.
Okay.
She catches it right on the knee. Ah!
Revenge!
And then 12 is going to miss.
Okay.
That's just my turn.
All right. In that kind of blind fury, she's going to lean in and try to do 3 hard strikes right at your chest. The first one is a natural 1. The second one is a 28. As it connects, you bam! You can feel almost your insides kind of crack, and she's going to attempt a stunning strike on you.
Con save.
Please.
21.
That'll pass. Either way, it strikes you right in the gut for 14 points of bludgeoning damage.
Halved.
And the third one is going to uppercut and hits you at a 21. She's going to try another stunning strike.
Okay.
Spends more key points. And that's also 9 points of bludgeoning. Yeah, you're fine.
9 points halved.
Yes. 4.
Okay, and 4. Okay. Hawk out.
23 is a constitution-y boy.
Yeah.
Whew,
Yeah.
You got some armor on you. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah, I do a bit.
That's all right. I'm going to have fun with this one. And she's going to take a legendary. Oh, she can't do it. Never mind. Can't do it. Yeah, I forgot.
It's like, do what now?
Tempest. Your turn.
I'll pivot over this way this time and try the same thing. Whisper attacks. 23.
23 will hit.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Here comes the reflect.
Nope.
No, okay.
You don't hit as hard as he does.
27. 11.
7, 11. Okay.
I don't think I'm gonna add more to that. I think that seems... Actually, that 11, I will go ahead and throw in a... I'll see if I can trip her. Nah, I should have called it earlier. I won't do that. I'll just pivot back to my spot.
All right. She is going to use a legendary action and use Phoenix Burst.
That sounds
A
bad.
small, she kind of, in the moment she's getting ready to swing, her hand reaches wide and a fireball will appear and she will lob it up over and detonate right above both of you.
Just like,
I need you both to make dex saves, please.
This is not going to end well. You have advantage at least, don't you?
I do.
A 16.
Failure.
Shit.
21 will pass.
22.
Either way.
That is 35 points of fire damage.
I
Keep my-
told you if you mess up the ship, Cole's going to kill you!
It was above the ship. Now that, well placed.
I'm just like, ow! We're going all in, are we?
A good roll on my part.
I'm going to use my reaction and take no damage
Okay.
with Shield Master.
Alrighty. That is her legendary action. 23.
23 is, that's cool. As he's like, shield has the shield up, barring the fire from hitting him. He's going to just like immediately slam it down.
I wasn't aiming for you. I was aiming for your friend. I don't like arrows.
I don't like fire!
Boy, are you fighting the wrong person.
24.
24. That
Damn.
hurt for her to block. Ah, she rolled a 21. You actually knocked her down.
And then I'm going to take 2 attacks.
Tempest, you see waving out of the corner of your eye.
27.
He loves
27
this,
what?
though, as I'm waving the Wand of Wonder at you.
She is going to reduce that.
Toss it here! Toss it here!
I'm attuning to it.
All right.
Like you
As
ever
you swing that
lost it.
blade down, she looks like she's going to hit before she kicks her foot up, and almost a little bit of key energy forms around it, and it punk, gets kicked right back up. Kicked right back up. Kicked right back up at you. Bleh. Get that word out.
Good job.
So I make my roll. And that will not hit you, unfortunately. As you boom,
Okay.
sails past you. She tried to kick you right back in the face.
Okay. And then I'm going to make another attack.
Okay.
26.
26 will hit.
For that much.
12 damage.
12
Yeah,
points
she gets,
damage.
You get her right on the chest. Ah!
Sorry, not really.
She is going to twirl about, and she is going to do almost like a flash kick right at the chin, as she's going to try to unarmed strike you, and hits you for a 28, and will connect for 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
Just 5.
Yep, and is going to twirl about you, and is going to launch. Let's see. She does not have mobile. I did not. No. Okay. She can take the attack opportunity from you.
I do have my reaction back. I will. Actually, no, I won't. I'll
right.
say my reaction.
Swing around you. And getting off the wall, she's going to get off the wall and try to do an elbow strike to the back of Tempest's head. And that will miss, and then followed by a gut strike, and that also misses with a 4 and a 6. Good job, Elora. Really not failing me today. Tempest, your turn. Can't hear you, buddy.
Kind of toss the bow to the other hand, draw the rapier, and I strike at her.
Okay.
So that's just a rapier attack. Not magical. Where's my not magical one? Can't find it, so I guess I'll just... Oh, I don't have it. I don't have the magic on here. I don't know. Okay. Sorry. Here we go.
No.
Yeah, didn't think so. I'll take the second swing as I start to kind of pivot away from her. That's not gonna work either. But with mobile, I get away. So 1.
Do you though?
I
Do
like
you?
to think so. That's kind of how mobile works. 2, 3, 4.
Mobile versus Sentinel. Who wins?
Mobile.
I know.
Actually, no. Does
Yes,
Huh?
mobile wins versus Sentinel.
Mobile wins because it's with attacks? Yeah, you're right.
And so I will take a second wind with my bonus action.
Okay. She's going to take a legendary action.
I swear to God, if it's not the fireball.
She puts her hands together. Hold this for me. Dex save from both of you again.
As Reynard is watching this, is she actually throwing fireballs?
She is. She is conjuring them out of nothing and tossing them.
Where is it? Dex save. 20.
20 will pass. 11 will not. Unfortunately, it is 21 points of fire damage.
I will have it with. Not oopsies.
With brutal critical.
With brutal critical. Fuck you.
Just cut it in half.
I'll have it with Shield Master. So
Okay. That's 10
10.
points of damage to each of you.
I'm just gonna look at 23 and be like, can Reyna do that quickly? And also, she's like really
She
good.
literally blobs them. They.
Where's the trade-off exactly?
Good Tempest. May I remind you? Over 200 years of training with Nikolai.
Still,
You could tell by eyeballing her. She's got a couple bruises. There's a little bit of a blood coming out of her nose, but she's
she's still going.
still going.
All right. Is that the end of Tempest?
23.
23 is going to run for. Oh, that's. Are each of these squares 30 or 5 still?
No, each square is 5 feet on this side. Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
It's only for the
60
big
feet.
part of the map. Unfortunately, I can't distinguish.
Yeah. It's all good. Okay. And then I will give her a bonus action. Schmack. To the ground.
How about that combo? And I love it.
18.
18. She will do the same combo as she gets knocked down and she springboards herself back up.
It's back
Yeah.
up again.
As she gets back up, I'm gonna try to she jumps in the air. I'm gonna try to smack her from from underneath with the Shatter Star.
All right.
18 will miss,
Nope.
and 15 will miss.
Nope, neither attack will hit.
That's my turn.
As she settles back onto the balls of her feet, she goes, you guys are a fun fight. I'm going to enjoy this one. And she is going to try to kick you right in the face. Just a flying spin kick. That will connect to your jaw for 16 points of bludgeoning, and then she's going to do 2 more in the same twirling kick attack. That's a natural 20 for this even less damage because that's just how criticals work.
Accurate.
For 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
She's just like defying gravity right now. I don't understand.
Make a reception check, Tempest.
She's defying gravity? Let's
No.
find out. Oh.
It's odd. Being the more observant of the group, the more you watch her, you swear you see they are faint traces,
Make a Constitution check.
but there is almost like sparks of red lightning coming off of her body from time to time, and you swear you see the ephemeral traces of wings behind her from time to time. Fiery wings. Her eyes are red hot, and she's got the biggest grin on her face, like she's having the time of her life.
Do I recognize this like avatar from any of my like religious studies? This feels
Seen that
very
before. That's new.
okay. I thought so, but thought I'd ask.
All
Okay.
right.
Interesting.
Tempest, your turn.
Yeah. That's interesting. I can't get a good shot right now, unfortunately. Let me see what I've got. Because I really don't want to shoot 23. I did at the beginning of this, but now I don't. Now we kind of need all the help we can get. Oh boy, my level 1 spells I prepared are Healing Word, Ceremony, and Inflict Wounds. That's helpful. All
You can
right.
drop your bow.
No, I just put it in my other hand. I can wield the rapier in one hand.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't fire like the same turn I
I
get the
know.
rapier out, but
I got you.
I'm just gonna come over here and try not to shoot 23. That's all I can do.
All right.
If I shoot you, I'll heal you. 16's not gonna hit.
No, it won't.
24 will.
24 will. 9. She is now officially bloodied.
All right. I will go ahead and throw a healing word on myself.
Okay.
So go ahead and take your turn 23 while I do that.
She's going to use legendary action,
Oh, please don't be another fireball.
and she's going to chuck another fireball. Dex save from the both of you.
This is getting ridiculous. There's nowhere for me to run. There's 7 points of healing.
Jesus.
Dex save.
Nope. That's failures. Both of you has 26 points of fire damage.
And I'll have it with Shieldmaster. So
Okay.
I
13?
won't. I'm gonna start. I'm looking over there like, I can only take so many fireballs.
She, despite the damage, her form is getting better. Her strikes are getting stronger. The more she fights, the more fire and passion seems to build up with her.
I am going to try to knock her to the ground again.
Please.
Okay.
15 is probably going to fail.
I love you, buddy, but these rolls tonight.
It actually succeeds. She rolled a 2.
Hey, it happens
Or
from
3,
time to
excuse me.
time. All right,
It does.
and then I
Roll
will
3, excuse me.
Shatterstar.
Yes.
That'll hit.
14.
14.
And Shatterstar. 23.
will hit.
It's me.
23 natural. That's your natural 20. Another 13.
13.
That's how you.
All right.
14, 13. That's 27 points of damage.
All right.
Oh, I gotta
She
roll
is going to
Constitution
use
again.
half her movement to get up.
That's half. I made it.
10, 15. She's going to bonus action Step of the Wind.
Shit.
Launch herself over to Tempest.
Oh, hi.
There is a anger in her face at this point. The grin is gone, and she's going to intently try to knock you out with the fight. 1, 2, 3 strikes, all 3 of which connect.
I'm watching her as she comes at me. I'm looking for like unique identifiers in this form. I'm trying to commit them to memory before I go night night.
This is 26, 20.
I'm out.
Yeah, you're at just you.
Does she? Because we talked about like not killing. Does she like parry the blow? Does she like?
You're just knocked unconscious. She trips you and just good solid wham! Your head goes to the side and you're out. She turns around and draws a stance looking at 23. Her hands alight with fire. Next.
Okay. And I will run forward and I'm going to give her the old push to the ground again. Or attempt to.
All right, I'm taking Tempest off the initiative order.
That's
Okay.
perfectly fine. I'm gonna move Tempest like out of the way. In fact, just like
All right.
I assume someone just comes over and like get out of the way.
Natural 20.
Even if she rolled, yeah, she got her. You got her. Wham! You put her to the ground.
Jesus!
Oh.
He's mad. I got knocked out.
I
Thanks,
was
23.
just thinking to myself, 23. I'm gonna need to see more 20s on these attack rolls from this advantage. You got me, my dude. You always got me.
That's 22, 26.
25.
25 damage. She takes that and you see a large splatter of blood come out of her mouth.
Avenge me!
Okay. And then I'm gonna hit her again.
All right.
21.
That
Hits
21 just hits.
for significantly less damage.
How do you
For
want to do
9.
this?
Oh!
I won the bet.
Barely.
I did damage before I got knocked out.
Well fought. And I
Wait,
smack
I'm
him.
sorry. I'm sorry. As you bring your hammer up and strike it down at her, it connects. There is a almost fiery roar that surrounds her form.
Oh shit! Of course, pissed.
She's going to use her reaction to use Phoenix Spark.
Mhm.
Instead of being reduced to 0, she's reduced to 1.
Okay.
You take 10 points of fire damage as a fire erupts from her.
Okay. No save or anything.
No save, just 10 points of
Okay.
damage.
Okay.
And she is going to stand back up at 1
Okay.
health.
Okay. I'm officially bloodied.
She's just standing there. She's going to try to launch herself 3 more attacks in the last stand to fight. 1, 2, 3, only 2 of which will connect. As you were hit for 14, then 15 points of bludgeoning damage.
Really jealous if you're like half damage raging. Gotta be honest. Super jealous.
Muted. No,
That's what barbarians do.
I was say 23 was muted.
All right. I guess.
After she gets back up, Reynard's going to say, I think you're done. If you won't keep this up, one of you is going to get killed. I think 23 is one. We can agree on that.
Core also really doesn't want the ship scorched.
She's still
20.
going. She's no intention of stopping.
Mhm.
Reynard just eyes like, 23's got to put her down. He's got to put her down.
Mm. I'm trying to decide. Does it seem like she'd be insulted if I just dropped, if I called it there?
She is all passion and fire and emotion at this point. Whether or not she's even conscious to
Okay.
understand what's going on, it's almost like a rage.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm in a similar situation probably too.
True.
I'm going to all bonus action and shove her to the ground.
Okay.
Or come to 26.
Ooh. Probably did. Yeah, natural 1. She's down.
Okay. And then 2 more attacks of the Shatterstorm.
1 will do it. Nope.
Oh no!
For some reason, her fire just lingers on and she swings from side to side. And as she gets back up, she's going to launch herself into another series of combos trying to take you down before she does. And all 3 of her attacks. Oh, nope. One of them hits. For 10 points of bludgeoning as she cracks you right across the jaw.
Last verse, same as the first.
Okay.
22 shove.
She goes down again. She goes down again.
And
And she gets up again. Oh, that'll do it.
27 will hit. Yep, she's with the final strike. She just looks like she's getting ready to get back up again, and she just slumps over unconscious.
And I will, as soon as she goes, I'll wait like 30 seconds and then try to kind of slap her awake again.
She's out, but she. I win.
You did your best.
That's not the same.
2 versus 1 might have been a little much.
So, Roman, technically Tempest lost and she lost. So, do you lose on both accounts?
Oh, my bet was on 23. Inari lost.
I win.
I didn't lose. I was part of the winning team, and I did a lot of things.
Oh, trust me, don't worry. If we would have taken her out first, I was totally going to fight you.
I still want that at some point.
Reynard is going to go fetch Cerulean so these 2 can be put back together.
Just gonna
I appreciate the good fight. I haven't had a good fight like that in a long time.
I healing word myself a couple times before it certainly gets up there. I'm like,
Yeah,
it hurt, but I was fine.
I forget that no amount of training can ever match a real experience.
That is true. And I have
For now.
a war's worth, but
But as
But
she gets
Nikolai-
up, she just seems to concentrate for a moment. And the flames that liquor around her start healing some of her wounds.
Nikolai did train you well, as though. I can see that.
It wasn't him.
Really? Oh, I suppose
No.
it was the dragon star lady,
Dragon.
wasn't it?
Yes, Adraxia.
Do you
That
think
is-
now that she says the name, do I recognize that aura? Was it kind of like Adraxia?
Not even close.
Okay, I'll keep that to myself then.
Well, you follow in your father's footsteps for what it's worth. I don't know if that's an insult or a compliment.
She just
I
wipes up a
take it.
little bit of nose, or bloody nose. What, with fighting or killing children?
No, I was talking about the fighting like in the way of the fist.
I heard he was good.
You have so much. I've seen Renard lob fireballs before, but Renard, correct me. Can you do it that many that quickly?
No.
All right, I'm just making sure because that was very painful. And I'm kind of curious how you did it. It's very unique.
She just shrugs. Training. Fire comes naturally to me.
23 gets a little sad. Lightning used to get natural to me.
Well, wind comes naturally to me, and you see how jack shit that does for me.
Well, if I was nothing but wind, I suppose I would be a little disappointed too. She'll wink at you.
Wait a second. Do we each get like an element assigned to us or something like that? Do I have to awaken mine? Is that when I get like super strong?
Yours is the power of heart. That's why you got like all the.
Roman has the power of friendship.
I need you to get a monkey now.
To the Care
Those
Bears
are
here.
for the Generation Z's who watches in the future, it's from Captain Planet.
I
Aw.
don't remember what the heart power even did.
It made friends with animals. That was it. Maybe people.
Well, I believe we have I have a Saturnian's a gnome, right?
Yes.
I can't remember if he's a gnome or a halfling.
Watching.
I have a gnome to talk to, and we have a meeting to plan. So,
Yes.
Is there a place I can sleep?
We have an extra bedroom. I don't remember.
You have a
Yeah.
whole
We don't
crew
have
quarters.
Yeah, we have
Oh.
a crew quarters. We don't have
True.
an extra bedroom, unfortunately. I hope you don't mind checking up with the general public.
No, certainly. And another member has been added to the crew of the Dawn Runner.
I'm just kind of. Renard. Is Rulin coming up here? Is he? Where is he?
Maybe
Spending
you pissed
time with
him
the
off.
daddy.
So,
Well-
the best part of that fight was that I wasn't involved directly, so I don't have to be the one to tell Core about that, and he'll point at all the burn marks on the deck.
I
Oh, don't
didn't-
worry. I will absolutely tell Cole who exactly is responsible.
Yes, it was her.
we did say try to stay away from them. It happens. I mean,
It's nothing. It's all cinders. It's all blackened and charred.
it's fine.
Cora's going to kill us when she gets back from shopping.
No, she's going to kill you because I don't have any magic.
I don't have any fire magic.
But you also started the fight, Zero, so it's your fault. All right, I'm gone.
I
And
don't think that's how that worked in the slightest.
23 will walk off and go and find the Sertarian.
Okay.
Renard, can you help me find Cerulean?
You know where his room is.
I know, but I'm injured. I need like someone to help me.
Renard just stares at you like,
He's like a dad with a cold. It's the worst pain ever.
I hate it. I'm limping.
I think I will flex my duties here as the leader of this group, and I will say I will delegate this task to you, Renard. I think you have the best skill set to deal with the Tempest.
Renard just begins to cast a magic and just disappears.
Now,
That's not fair. You're still here. I'm percepting around. I'm looking for disturbances in the air. I'm like,
He's
you're here.
gone.
somewhere.
He's gone.
Oh, you
It was
did
not
it.
door opens and
It was
closes.
not invisibility that he cast
I'm gonna
Oh,
go
no,
down
Wait, was that a spell you just cast out in the open?
on the deck of the
on the deck of
Dawnrunner,
the
yes.
ship.
Counterspell.
Okay. What level are your spell slots?
Third.
You gotta make a charisma check.
I will.
Oh, wait, yeah, never mind.
And the name of this episode be Friendly Fire? Jesus.
I guess I don't go anywhere.
Actually, friendly fire works really well.
He'll just look at you for a moment, like he's not sure if he should be annoyed or not.
Or impressed.
No,
That
definitely
is-
not impressed.
That is what I expect from an Archmage.
The Archmage of Magic has learned many new spells.
The Archmage of what?
Hex
Magic. Hex
Hex
magic.
magic.
You're getting very good at your magic.
Mm-hmm.
Bernard makes a point of just turning around and just walking away.
I literally walk with him, just like, but it hurts, Renard.
I could technically counterspell that with ball bearings.
They even
I'll
have my
remind you, the person who locked your door. It'd be a shame if that just disappeared one day.
It would.
And Elora's just watching, like,
I lost to these fools? But as I get downstairs, like, are we out of earshot, like, of the rest of the group?
you and Reynard?
Yes.
Sure.
I'm kind of going to whisper to him and be like, yes, I know that was terrible, I'm sorry. I would like to have a chat real fast.
Oh, you had ulterior motives? I had no idea.
I thought playing up the whiny thing might work.
You were playing that up?
Damn.
Not
Even the
really.
DM didn't have to roll a perception check for that one.
Not
Roll for
really.
fire damage?
I've taken enough burn damage. I don't need any more.
You're dealing with the master, don't forget.
I don't know. She's pretty good.
What is it?
Can we go to, like, the room just real fast?
Alright.
Alright. So, when we get in there, I will basically describe to Renard what I saw and just kind
Oh,
of be like,
Tamara's gone. Sorry. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh.
Tamara would have scooted off.
she doesn't like fire?
No, Tamari's just noticeably absent right now. He narrows his eyes at me.
Everyone narrows their eyes at you. Anyway, once we're in the room, I'm kind of gonna just describe the kind of aura, like, presence around her. Like, I assume everyone saw the fire, but I don't know if, like, the aura was pretty obvious.
Huh.
And I'm just gonna be like, what is that? Cause what she's doing up there, does that just come from practice?
I would have to assume no, but admittedly, I'm not the most experienced when it comes to ways of monks and their manipulation of inner magics. You know, you could ask me, and I will do my best to make a check to whatever hell I might be able to discern this is, but he'll also just point over towards the fact that we literally have Nikolai sitting on the table of this room and say, or you could also just ask him.
Yes, but no one wants me to hold the shiny monk ball.
That's not anyone. That's Nikolai specifically asked if he could just not be held by you. I mean, I imagine he's just giving you an honest ribbon because he doesn't seem like the type of person to hold a grudge. And what have you ever done against Nikolai but
Exist.
popular culture and all that?
That does seem to be the case with me, doesn't it? But if I will kind of just, if we're just kind of talking, I'll just kind of have the orb and just be like, Nikolai, your daughter exhibits some extreme power. Is this something she inherited from you, or something she's been gifted?
Make a wisdom check.
Considering I'm actually one of the better wisdom characters, I'm gonna fail miserably.
The images you see are of Shalenthal using a very similar type of magic, an almost innate ability to just conjure fire at any given point. Not just fire, but walls of fire, flames that can lick off of her and burn enemies that come close, wings, multiple fireballs in all directions conjured at the same time.
God. Oh, she's a Shalenthal in the making.
Inherited the abilities anyway.
Well, that's not great.
Doesn't seem that far-fetched considering what I saw her doing earlier. This girl knows how to use fire magic like you wouldn't believe. That being Shalenthal, not Eleanor.
Oh, did you talk to the...
Yes, I have spent some time speaking with Nikolai.
Is this worrying? Did we...
It seems to make sense as a matter of fact.
Should we have brought her out of that place?
I don't think she would have been any safer in that place than she would be here. the very least here, she has us to look out for.
She might not be more or less safer. What about everyone else?
You all managed to handle her somewhat. Now, unless she has an unexpected growth that she could simply tap into magics faster than we could even dream of, then yes, we may have trouble. But if the two of you could handle her, I imagine the rest of us working together could stop her, whatever she's going to try and do. She hasn't shown any predication or any tendency towards trying to harm or kill innocent people. So I have to assume she's not just going to go off on a rampage, unless I have concerns about her desire to continue that fight after she was clearly beaten, but I might chalk that up to stubbornness. And for all I know, she might get that from Nikolai.
Holding the orb, does Nikolai react to this? Never mind.
No.
Okay.
it just-
Okay, I guess I got a little worried, and from what I see here, she has a lot of potential to get very scary. I suppose if it's channeled in the right direction, it's not a bad thing.
What we are going to do is we are just going to give her a chance to live normally, and we're going to keep her safe from Shalenthal. It's not a complicated plan. Speaking of complicated plans, well, she is here. We need to do everything on our power to make sure that she doesn't make as much of a display as possible. Now, admittedly, now that we've seen that, we've already done a shit job of ensuring that nobody knows what's going on, but let's make a concentrated effort to not just shoot fire off of our boat.
Yes, it does make your little spark at the beginning of the fight look a little tame, doesn't it? I'm sure everyone in Marcera now knows something was going on up here.
Yes, I imagine we'll hear from the god before too long, as well as the Alakim Arcanum. The god because fire is typically bad in the city, and the Alakim because if we're using magic and they didn't know about it, they're going to want to know why.
Yeah, that's going to be a bit difficult to understand. Maybe we could explain it away as, unfortunately, Core 23 can't do such things.
Well, I imagine the question they're going to ask is if she can use magic, why is she not registered?
Well, there's that. I was simply thinking of trying to keep her away from them in general. Was hoping we could explain it away as either 23 or Core.
We'll deal with that when we come to it, but as for now, we need to work with her to the best of our abilities. Regardless, he'll kind of turn over and look towards Nikolai. How much of this did she display while you were spending time with her?
Not much. Mostly she just wanted to talk.
So she's never trained this stuff. She's never... Well, it doesn't sound like she's used it a lot, and yet she comes up here and suddenly flinging fireballs willy-nilly. That seems like rapid growth.
There are mages who come innately into magic. It's not uncommon. Magic can be carried through the blood. I'd be more concerned that she was out there throwing punches like it was natural to her entire life.
Very interesting girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a dragon that is most clearly acting up to go and find,
Yes,
as well as diagrams for a masquerade uniform to finish.
And I need to go find some burn salve or something.
Right. Which reminds me, as we start to leave, Reynard is going to go into a side closet and get out a mop and a bucket, and he's going to take it to Eleanor and say, Elora, sorry. He's going to take it back up to the deck where Elora is and just say, you made the mess.
You
Stop
see
complaining.
Elora chasing Tamara, who has a gold coin in its claws. And not just Elora is chasing her on all fours, chasing after her and just ducking around underneath buildings, underneath ballistas, climbing over, leaping over people. It's a scene.
What is going on up here?
Well, I was just looking at the sky and having a nice thing. Then all of a sudden, this broke out, and it just kind of seemed appropriate, so I let it go on.
As they turn each other, they both hit. You can see Tamara just and Elora and the same parts hissing at each other. Yeah, it's a
I
thing.
dropped the bucket on the ground.
Thunk.
Oh.
All right. Have you had your fun?
No one would ever guess she was the one just lobbing fireballs just a second ago.
Tamari, where'd you get that coin? Reynard just furrows his brows and stares intently at them.
Alright does not respond. She's clutching that gold coin like it's her life.
Oh, Renard, let her keep it. It's cute.
I just want to know where she got it from.
Probably Roman. He was betting against me.
I won against Nari and I collected back my money.
You bet your own gold.
Mhm.
He'll just shoo Tamari off. All right, Elora. Here, when you make a mistake, you pay the repercussions of it. You make a mess, you clean it up.
She will take that mop and she starts going to work in a monk fashion.
I don't care how you do it.
You ever seen a monk do mopping chores? Yeah, they're all into it.
I just pat her on the back, give her guidance if she's doing anything with it. I don't know, and just on my way.
She
I don't
kung fu
care
cleans.
how you do it, but if you manage to clean it up to the degree that Cord doesn't notice when she comes back, then she doesn't need to know.
What's
Of course,
Course gonna know? Of course,
What's Cor-
gonna know.
What's
I'm assuming that's a full lid for the evening. All right. I think that's more or less a good time to call it for the day. Really call it for the day. Call it for a little bit of break. We'll be back in about 15 minutes, guys.
10 o'clock? Woo! Or 9, whatever your time zone is.
Your burns are mere inconveniences as you bathe. And as you all convene around the galley for breakfast, there's a few crew members now. You can see Sertarian is there. Elora is there. Bertram is there. There's a crowd as people
Howdy.
start gathering for breakfast.
Oh, it's nice to see everyone out and about this time of day.
Oh, Cerulean, you're up. How's your father doing?
He's better. How far would you say he's into his healing process now?
The physical scars are mostly handled.
The mental ones, however.
However, there is something he is asking you to find.
Ooh, okay.
His dad's journal, your grandfather's journal.
That'd be at the house in his study. I have to find a way into his house back in without getting kicked out. Yeah, he would basically tell him like, yeah, I'll do what I can.
That's a good shot of Will's head.
I think I have an idea of when to get it, but I don't know.
It's a good shot of the back of Will's computer.
Sponsored by Asus.
Me
No.
eat in peace.
Renard is eating breakfast. Leave Renard alone.
Rom, 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 rom. Chunky cat. What up, Kit Kat? All right.
Let me write that down, actually.
Get that journal. Personal quest.
All right. So, what would you guys like to do for the day?
Well, what do we have planned?
Is this about the time we have the 2 weeks coming up? Is that about
You
now?
have approximately, by my math, 11 days until the event.
Well, I'll tell you this. At some point today, we're going into the upper lower mark ward to meet with our grave friend.
Seems like a good idea.
I had no plans. Down to go to the up low.
If we've got,
Okay. Okay, you're good.
I was just gonna say, if we have 11 days, if we have plans today, I'll stick around. But I may do my own thing once or twice here in the next few days.
I'll help anyone who needs really helping out. I do want to head to the conservatory and scribe down some new spells. I have some rituals in mind that I want to put in, but that'll take some time, obviously.
I have a question. Am I still feeling like I have to be around my lucky charm?
Your effects are gone.
Okay, cool.
Night of Long Rest cured you of your temporary insanities.
Hooray.
Alrighty.
Roman, we're not crazy anymore.
I don't have the
Aw.
paranoia. Or do I?
Well, more than usual. So I'm much less clingy toward you today, Cerulean.
You look like you look like you're doing better.
Yes, I feel much rested.
That's good. That is what I was hoping for. How about
Yes.
you, Roman? You doing okay?
Was I not doing okay? I mean,
You-
I just was hyper alert of any danger that might be coming away. I think it's, given the situation, it's probably pretty good.
I mean, I think you tried to like stab a couple of women in the street. You were pretty sure they were assassins.
What if they were? Then I foiled their plans and you're alive now, so you're welcome.
Well, just because you're
Versus
crazy
foil.
doesn't mean somebody's not trying to kill you.
I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying that not everything is trying to kill us. Like 80% of things are.
You notice Elora's plate is just stacked, and
She probably freaking burns through calories.
she has no chill when it comes to food.
I mean,
No chill.
probably being stuck in a tower most of her life. I can only imagine how hungry she really is.
This is amazing! What is the shields of a strip of bacon? What is this?
That is bacon. Bacon is
This
delicious.
is amazing!
It is. It truly is one of the best wonders in this world.
I still crave it. I don't even know what it tastes like, but I crave it.
Think of it as like this greasy but just fattening and delicious morsel.
You're not helping.
Why don't you use an
Yeah.
auto self spell?
A what?
Or a polymorph?
I can't. I have no magic abilities.
She points at Reynard. Does he know them?
Reynard's still eating.
Everyone would be like,
Oh, that's right. You are. I can hear Reynard chewing.
He's eating loudly. Will, mute your mic.
I'm sorry. Wait a minute.
You make the jokes, I unmute my mic. That's just fair.
Oh, you mute your mic everywhere.
you're unmuted in Discord too.
That's where we're hearing it.
All actions have consequences. Remember that.
Sorry. Anyway, shit, I forgot what we were talking. Yes, I mean, Roman here is actually an Archmage. If you didn't know.
Soon to be. I mean,
Well, he's
so
studying.
it's the goal.
He's studying for it. He reads those really big, impressive books.
We were at the tower and I realized they had a realm of study that wasn't being touched, so I figured, they could use another archmage.
He's definitely an expert in hexography.
Yeah, I'm really good. And I'm gonna hex Tempest and give him disadvantage on charisma checks.
For the whole day.
8 hours. Actually, hold on. How long does it last now? Double check that. D&D Beyond. All right, what is in here? But yeah, your disadvantage. I'll tell you how long in a second.
No, don't. Oh, okay, it's happened.
Mm-hmm.
Was that really necessary? I'm already awkward.
Yes, at least now you have an excuse to be an asshole.
No, it doesn't. No one else knows.
It's funny.
Fine. I guess you can be the face of the group today.
Isn't Roman already?
Yeah, he pretty much always is.
Sometimes you're not talks.
Yeah, I let you
It's
guys
true.
talk when it's appropriate. When we're talking about dragons, Renard speaks. When we're talking about
Hexography?
hexography, it's me. When we're talking about healing stuff, it's Cerulean. Said
23 will look at Roman expectantly.
You can't stop there, Roman.
Go
we're
on.
gonna get back.
When we want to scare someone, we talk to you, 23.
No, when we need to talk about the intricacies of bonding with a horse, we speak to 23.
I haven't talked to 24 in a while. I should go talk to him real quick. I'm going to go find 24.
We act.
Don't worry, I've made a note about the polymorph thing. Don't worry, it's on my to-do list.
And 23 gets up to go talk to 24. He just pats his shoulder, just like they're there.
Core is going to walk in eventually and just tap Elora on the shoulder and hand her a mop
Oh,
and a scrub brush.
Oh,
I told
didn't
you if you did a good enough job, you wouldn't have to do it again.
There's a real awkward silence before Elora and Core just walk out.
He didn't use the scrub brush.
So when are we expected to meet our friend, or is that, or do we just meet whenever?
They made a request to do it sooner than later. I said sooner would be smarter than later.
Then should we just go after we eat? I mean, breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and we already had it, so.
Unless some of you have something else you have pressing need to attend to.
Considering we've been ambushed by spooky shadow stuff before, we should probably stay together as much as possible.
And I can head to the conservatory afterwards. We've got plenty of time anyway, so I'm not really pressed for time here.
Yes, I can do my stuff later. We've got some time before this masquerade.
Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised yesterday when we all kind of went our own way to do whatever we were going to do that none of us got. Wait, hold on a second. I'm going to poke everyone in the group to make sure they are who they are.
Ow.
I genuinely believe if they want to do anything, it's going to be at that ball. They're not going to do anything before then.
I'm just saying, if I was going to mess with us, I would swap one of us out.
I poke Roman back.
Don't do that.
He seems solid. He seems solid. He seems solid.
No. Yeah, I only have business maybe after. I want to go check out the industrial ward, see if I can find somebody who can do a job. But
This is a thought as well. Should we maybe check in with the other groups who we're talking to see how they're faring? You know, with the guards, Sightless Eye, to see if there's anything new.
Well,
So-
last time.
When I said I was going to meet somebody gray in the upper lower mark district, who did you think I meant? It's Tall Rick. Tall Rick asked me to come and see us.
Oh, right, my bad. Sorry, it's brain's still turning on to game mode. My apologies.
And
Yes.
last time I tried to talk to Warwick, didn't work out so well. That casino is really quite fun to deal with. So maybe let him come to me. I think potentially it seems like he's dealing with some stuff.
we're eating on the ship, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So after he bumps, he's like, yeah, and I bumped into the queen.
I'm sorry. What?
I bumped, oh, princess, sorry.
How's she doing? Is she okay?
She's mopping.
She's mopping?
Is she up on the deck with Cord? What?
She's not here.
Where was she?
I probably shouldn't share it. Well, the less people that know, the better.
Well, we aren't in the fancy magical room, so you'll probably.
Yes,
right.
and there are at least half a dozen people here who could overhear us.
As long as
Which-
she's safe, that's the important thing.
You looked fine.
Good.
Bernard is
Except-
going to finish writing something and snap his fingers to summon Tamari and just say, all right, Tamari, if you can find, and I cannot remember the name of the clothing store, but I'm sure Bernard would obviously remember what it is. Find this, deliver this to a green dragonborn named Elbeth. There'll be 2 gold pieces in it for you. And I'm going to tie it to her leg.
She will and scamper out. Much like my cat, who just scampered out. Chonk! I never see you go fast anywhere.
All right. That's my thing to get done for the day, but let's go and finish the rest of this regardless.
All right. Let's be off.
And upwards.
All right.
Buddha place.
You find yourselves making your way across town. You're taking the train, or are you gonna walk?
I have no issues either way. They don't care.
We're in no hurry, and I wouldn't mind taking a look around the city just to see if we could spot out anybody who's not supposed to be here.
I'll wear my hood since people don't like me.
Okay, we will go to the Overland Map. Traversing from your boat to the upper lower mark ward where you can find the Sightless Eye will take you a better part of an hour to walk. And as I do a roll to see what you see.
Dun dun dun.
The city itself seems to be at peace. There is not much in the way of a whole lot of traffic in this early in the morning, as it is only about 9 a.m. by the time you get to the bridge, and a good 9:15 by the time you get to the other end of it. The guards do not seem to bother you when you show them the passes, and unless 23 actively starts poking people, which he doesn't seem he's inclined to do today. You do not encounter anything out of the ordinary.
I'm keeping a perceptive eye out. Renard's kind of shown us the hints of magic that can kind of illusion them, so I'm keeping an eye out that.
Okay. Going down into the basement of the cellar, into the basement where you know the Sightless Eye are. You are brought into where Talric's office is. And as the door is knocked onto by one of the guardsmen who lets you forth, you hear a, yeah. And door opens and you can see Talric smoking a cigar and looks like he's reading over a bunch of notes. Well, strains his jacket out, sits up, puts his feet down. Thank you for coming so early.
What do you do?
Morning. Maybe just for all of you to walk in. Okay.
I go up and poke him.
They're right. Would you mind?
Just checking.
Yeah. Anyway.
That's that. It's a greeting.
He will actually hold out, or take a map out and unfurl as he rolls out. And you recognize, Renard will probably recognize this, as well as Cerulean. It is called the Hall of Heroes. It is essentially a museum dedicated to the Dawnspire and some of the other more famous things that have occurred throughout Reichfeld's history. It is more colloquially known in the conservatory as the Halls of Transmutation. This is where one of the parts of the upcoming event are going to be held. It is a benefit designed for the Edanians, and we're going to be raising money go to repairs of Crimson Witch and other places is the total reason for this. It is divided into 2 events. The first one is going to be held at the Halls of Transmutation. It lasts for roughly 3 hours, and then it will move on to the Black Flagon. We're going to hold an opera event at the building across from it, the Grand Chimera. It's going to be a opera event, I guess, some sort of play acting. I haven't quite gotten that part down. It's very hush hush. Lord Balthazar will be in both of these places. I do not know in which order, I do not know for how long, but I do know that he is going to be attending both of them.
Well, we should definitely keep an eye on that.
The event itself is going to have no weapons or armor allowed. It's going to make it difficult for us to deal with that. But if you all trust me, I will be able to smuggle your equipment inside the building prior to the event engaging.
Well, that would certainly be useful for some of us.
I mean, how thoroughly are they going to search us?
Hard to say. Not sure who's going to go in there.
Okay.
Part of me feels like we shouldn't take anything too important in there, just in case.
We have a couple bags of holding that we are going to be able to conceal your items. We'll hide them in the cafeteria.
Is the Shatterstar small enough to fit in 23's chest compartment?
No.
Okay.
This thing is Mjolnir sized. It's
Okay.
substantial. Questions?
Good so far.
Appreciate the music.
Yes, I placed this immediately. I was like, yeah, there you go. Solid choice. So,
train car.
yes, Balthazar may or may not be a high-value target. Well, there's no may or may not. He's definitely going to be a high-value target of this. I don't imagine this is something that would be done as a public affair, but I can't help but feel that this would be a situation for something to be done. So,
What do you mean?
I still believe that the Silent Dark is aiming to kill him, or at least replace him. And I don't believe he's been replaced yet, but that's strictly a gut feeling.
It's hard to say what they're going to do and not do at this point. They've been very quiet for the past few days. I haven't heard any activity. I do know for certain that they are going to do something when this event begins. It's in their style. And keep in mind, they want to play with all of you.
They do enjoy that, don't they? And this would be quite the scene.
Indeed. I have no doubt that when you get to one of these two events, I don't know which one they're going to do it in, but they are going to look for you specifically.
Well, I guess we should be presentable then.
I agree. All sources seem to think that it is the Black Hand that is currently leading this soiree. You no doubt will run into Yana. Not know what else.
As another note, this is going to be something happening in a public place. We should seek to eliminate as much collateral damage as possible.
Let's hope it doesn't have to come to that much collateral at all.
Just saying. Now I know this may be a note more for me than the rest of you all, but anything big and flashy, anything indiscriminate, would probably be a bad idea here. If not just for the people you might harm, but the collateral damage that may be done to these buildings, as both of them are, well, very old, very famous, and very important to a lot of important people.
So,
Indeed.
yeah.
There are a lot of ancient relics contained within the Halls of Transmutation, particularly within the basement. If you're going to be doing anything down there, I wouldn't recommend trying to do anything, because some of them are very likely trapped. The wards and security buildings inside that aside, whatever the Silent Dark are planning are no doubt going to cause further problems for you. You can expect all myriad of challenges and trials.
How many floors is this Hall of Heroes? Actually, Renard will probably know that.
You have the roof, a second floor, a first floor, and a basement.
Lots of ground.
So if we wanted to maintain patrols on this place, ensure that we could cover as much ground as possible, we'd want to do it from the first floor. I don't imagine there's a whole lot of importance the higher up you go. And certainly not a whole lot on the roof.
No,
the most valuable of the things are very likely contained within the vault, but I have not been able to get anybody down there yet.
There might be ways of getting down there.
You need a special key from somewhere.
Fewer ways of getting down there. Roman, you're an expert, right?
Expert in what? Sneaking into places or picking locks?
Yes?
I'm a little rusty, but I'm sure I can get through a few doors. I mean, if it's vault to the Hall of Heroes sounds maybe above my pay grade.
One of the issues we're going to run into here is that we're not necessarily going in as security. We're going in the same as civilians as everyone else. It's not like we're going to have time to set up defenses and preparations. It's just we're going to be there the same as anyone else, just waiting for what happens.
I assume we're probably not going to be allowed our weapons.
We just talked about that, Tempest.
Yeah, sorry. I just realized I was like, that. I already talked about that.
We will be smuggling your weapons and equipment in.
Yeah.
When you get in there is going to be a cafeteria on the southernmost eastern wing of the building. You will find a series of flower pots. Beneath them will be your bags.
Yeah.
So just to also clarify, we need to make sure that if we do anything down there, we don't do anything that'll have widespread damage. It needs to be centered.
Well, I would say the first and foremost priority is to prevent the assassination of the Lord High Mage.
Of course.
Buildings can be replaced.
Yes, but some of those artifacts can't be.
Not to mention, I don't imagine some of them are magical. Would they interact poorly with other magic?
Depends on which building you're in. Certain floors do contain ancient reliquaries, vases and pots. Some of them are enchanted, some of them are not. I do know that there are weapons concealed in the basement. I do not know which types or what kinds. A lot of statues and heraldries, those are probably fine. I will leave it to your discretion on what you're going to be lobbing around in there. But you can be concerned, but I don't think you have to be too concerned.
For our reference, Beth, where is the Hall of Heroes on the map?
I actually don't have it listed. That is my fault. It is in the let me look at the Overland Map.
Royal area?
No, it's not Royal. It's in the Upper Middlemark Ward.
Ah, okay. Not that place.
No,
Oh,
it's not on the map. I have not put it there.
okay.
It was a recent addition to the lore of the city.
Hmm.
Question: is there anything from preventing us bringing in our own bag of holding?
Security of the building, probably.
Ooh, question. They, I'm assuming, are going to know us decently well and what we can do. Notably the guards. If they know what I can do, then would they let me in the building knowing that I can't be disarmed? I kind of like snap an Ari out and then snap it back.
I mean, most mages. I mean, you can't just stop them. Well, I guess they have the.
They're not going to strap an anti-magic collar on their neck. It is a soiree. It is designed for a party and a benefit. They will rely on an honor system.
And I'm sure there will be plenty of guards ready to stop you if you try anything.
I can also imagine that once the fighting starts, the guards are going to get involved really quickly. If the Silent Dark is there actively, then the fight will be over very soon. So you can anticipate, as he's going to continue, that whatever they do, the guards are not going to be a problem for them. Whatever that is, I do not know yet.
Yes, Sir Liam?
I apologize, I didn't mean to interrupt. I had a very odd question, or an idea, I should say. You know how I asked you all to write your names in my book?
Mm-hmm.
What if I was able to write Balthazar's name in the book?
That keeps him alive, if I remember correctly?
Keeps him alive enough for him, if anything were to try something, he'd be able to try to escape.
I would also point out that Lord Balthazar is actually one of the most powerful mages in Reichfell. Taking him down is not something one just does, even for the Silent Dark.
True, but this would at least provide us with, or provide him with at least a second chance if things go too bad for him.
How are you going to convince him to just let him? I mean, obviously it doesn't seem very harmful, but
I don't know if I could I don't know, convince him to do it. It's possible. The idea that I had was that it would at least give him some time if things were to go belly up, that he would have an opportunity for a last-ditch effort to get out of there.
I mean, it's an extra precaution, and the only difficulty there is trying to get him to sign your book.
Does he need to know what he's signing for?
He needs to be willing to put his name down, yes.
So,
Well, I mean,
if it's as simple as this, is it as simple as just saying, you're a huge fan, can you have his autograph?
that.
Try that, yeah.
I love it.
I could definitely
Can we
try.
get the Indiana Jones thing where, like,
Where he gets it, he's like,
up
it's
to the Hitler?
Wow.
I mean, I could try. I don't know exactly what I go to the conservatory at some point.
Hmm.
I could try then.
I mean,
Yeah.
you could try it then. You could just try it at the party. You are going to be mingling with him.
True, but that means I would have to take one of your guys' names out.
That would be a reasonable sacrifice, but it means ensuring that he stays alive a little better.
You could take my name out. I have.
I was going to say, if you don't mind me taking yours out, I believe out of everyone, you are probably you have the best chance of survivability.
He's very durable.
I have thick metal.
I
Remember when I
won't-
got taken out by spiders months ago? That was fun.
I do remember that, yes. I won't take your name out yet, just in case. Once we get closer to the ball, then I will.
Well, I'll look into some more preparations. If we need to watch multiple locations at once, such as keeping an eye on the basement, or at least the entrances into the basement and the Lord High Mage, we may want to consider splitting up into groups of 3. It'll be risky, to be certain. Separating in a situation like this we could get picked off, but if our goal here is to ensure that everything is protected to the best of our abilities, then we may have to make some sacrifices.
Well,
Possible we could set down some alarm spells too?
I mean, that is something I could certainly try, but that is not a spell I simply just cast. It takes time.
Well, I have it too. What I'm saying is, if we split up into 3, we could put one at the basement, then one at the top, so that way we know if someone comes in, if someone tries to sneak past us.
The basement is past Archmage Croft's office.
Hmm.
I mean, it is something I could certainly try, but that is not a spell I simply just cast. It takes time.
Well, I have it too. What I'm saying is, if we split up into 3, we could put one at the basement, then one at the top, so that way we know if someone comes in, if someone tries to sneak past us.
You have to get past her assistant and her.
My concern is that if there are guards at this function, I don't think they're going to take kindly to you sitting there for 11 minutes casting a spell.
That's fair. Just throwing ideas out. I apologize.
I had considered it, and being able to cast an alarm in those locations would be great. But I also imagine the first issue is there's going to be a lot of foot traffic at this event. Those spells are going to be going off almost constantly.
True. That's true.
Well, as far as groups, I do think that is a good idea. Whoever you stick with me should probably be if they already know what I can do, and they might be, I'm on the honor system, but they're watching me, and I'm going to be in a purple suit. Maybe I'm on the first floor, and I'm kind of in there. So whoever's going to be more of the subtle and, perceptive types might not want to be with me. Maybe me and 23 together, being loud and boisterous as we are.
What about you, 23, and Tempest, then myself, Renard, and Core? That way we each have at least someone who's hardy, someone who can heal.
There's the logical way to break it down. I can't find any fault in it, otherwise there doesn't seem to be any better solutions.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no one. You kind of got both sneaky people in one party, but I don't know if that's going to be very helpful.
I mean, the only downside really is that you and I won't be able to do your warding bond, but I think I can last without it.
Yes, that's true.
Keep in mind as well, this is a masquerade ball, everyone. This is not something where we're going to be technically in disguise.
Roman will flick his rainbow hair. My mask doesn't cover that.
And I'm just gonna look at the blue skin, like.
Well, if you have a mask on, people are going to be mainly looking at the mask and the skin, though. So you might have.
The masquerade, they're going to know who you are, as you're going to know who many of them are. It's not that you have name tags or anything like that, but you have to consider these people have been around each other for a very long time, and all due respect, you all stick out. A simple mask is not going to be enough to completely cover everything, particularly for your Warforged companions. It is a mask designed for the benefit of the ball, not for the benefit of it being hidden.
Yes. Renard and Cerulean, you're the only ones who have any hope of somewhat passing, and I doubt it's going to be that way.
Probably not me, because with what I'm going to probably be wearing, it's going to be obvious what house I belong to.
Something potentially similar to that for myself as well. You all see when our wardrobes arrive.
My point stands.
Yes. And I was thinking of a lovely thing with some purples and greens.
Oh, still well what you want. Enjoy that.
Oh, I plan on it.
You only get to live once, usually. Except for this one, and a point to Roman.
Yes. He's lived 3 times? 4 times?
I'm on 3. Lucky number 3.
Yolt? Not YOLO, Yolt.
I need not to tell you all that this is some of the highest stakes the city has seen in a very long time.
It's funny how often people say, I don't need to tell you this, but then they tell us anyways.
Also, that whole thing about, big stakes.
It's called underlining the point, Mr. Montelier.
I'm well aware of what it's called.
Then I hope you pay attention. As he kind of thumbs a wad of paper for a minute, he seems to be considering his next words. I wish I could provide more assistance, I honestly do. There's a lot of things going on, not just here, but elsewhere.
You're doing more than we could ask for. We appreciate it.
I know. However, Mr. Montelier, if it makes you as a side benefit, I do know happen a couple of things that are inside that vault that you might be interested in. At the end of the second calamity, some of the notes from Celia Larenth survived, including some of her concepts for higher-level magic. You might be considering trying to find those notes, as they are hidden in the vault and not in the conservatory.
That would require me breaking into the vault, would it not?
Indeed.
So we just stealing this stuff.
Don't like that idea.
I would rather think the idea that you have it better than the Silent Dark.
Well, my concern is, believe me, this is something that seems far-fetched even coming from me. What if that's the plan?
What do you mean? They want you to gather all the magic items?
They could frame
It'd be
us.
a hell of a lot easier to steal it from me than it would be to steal it from the Hall of Heroes.
Or if they have proof, they can just easily just point the finger at us and say that we're thieves of the Empire.
Would not be above them.
Though I have doubts of that. If they are in fact working with the Archmage of Transmutation and her office is right by the basement here, then they likely have access to it already.
Why not just go in and steal it? Why not
Yes.
just take it? I think the answer, and this may frustrate you, is that Archmage Croft is actually not in on it. We've been watching her for a while. She has done nothing that we have considered. She spends all day at the Hall of Transmutation, the Hall of Heroes, working. She teaches lectures from time to time, but not many. She's usually not at the conservatory. I think her games are actually more political than they are nefarious.
Self-motivated?
I don't think that's the answer. More like damage control, it seems. Many of the measures that she's been trying to work against have been, well, the ones that harass you for your blue skin, making people wear badges for being identifying as a certain race.
She's fighting against that, right?
She is.
I like her.
That doesn't mean she's not in on it and she's being simply clever about it, but there's been no evidence to suggest that she is part of the plot to assassinate the Lord High Mage. Which also leads me to think I don't think killing him is their idea. Replacing him is the other. Mr. Montilier, I need not tell you that they have serious powers of blood magic at their disposal, which is how I think they are using the abilities to clone and replicate people. We've been watching your mother, and we think she's part of it. And we also have a reason to believe she is going to be at the soiree as well.
Fairly certain we already knew that.
Yeah, because I think we knew your mom was going to be there, my dad was going to be there, my dad.
Dad. Do we know if he's still showing up? Because obviously we rescued him. Is he like disappeared from public society or anything?
Maybe not.
You haven't seen him yet.
Okay, just kind of figured if we generally knew.
Question. So if the Archmage of Transmutation's not in on it, and they're trying to get, not kill, but get the Lord High Mage, what if, who would be second behind transmutations? That, should we look at them instead?
It'd be evocation.
Because I mean, maybe they're trying to get both of them. And they're both going to be in the same place.
I don't know. Angela's a very public figure. She's perhaps one of the more popular instructors. She stands out. Replacing her would not be easy.
That's sometimes the best way to blend in is to not. It's kind of my plan for this party.
I don't know. I've never spoken with Angela more. But I understand that somebody here has.
I've known Angela for a long time. It would be difficult to replace her without it being noticed.
Mm-hmm. I will leave the rest of the planning to all of you. I leave it in your very capable hands. I have seen your activities work before. You have stood at the feet of gods and come out unscathed.
Well,
What about that?
Mostly unscathed. Are you alright, Mr. 23? You seem non-characteristically non-hyperverbal.
I'm not the best at planning, and the magic stuff is really confusing. And I'm also not quite sure what a ball is. But
It's a round object about a foot in diameter.
it's like a fancy party. People dress up, they wear masks.
Yes, so it's very fancy. People will wear the masks, and there'll be dancing, and there'll be music, and there'll be lots of
Oh.
talking.
And one other person is going to be there. Lady Anastasia is going to be there. Of Baywick.
Oh. Remembrance suddenly hits.
And it's been a while since we've had to pull up that old material, but she's
At first,
visiting.
I was like happy, then I was like, oh no, wait, no, I'm not.
Is she there to help with the A for Crimson Witch?
Part of the benefit, yes. She's on the registered guest list.
She's been here in the city for a while. I wonder why this is the first time she's made a public appearance.
Couldn't say.
They have no reason to replace her, right?
I mean, that's harder to say.
I mean, just because they're focused here on Mars Earth at the moment doesn't mean they aren't planting seeds in other places.
So,
Influential people are influential people. Just they're outside the city.
The more we have to look into this, the more it seems like there's so many people here, it'll be difficult to look after one person in particular. I feel like just we'll have to be on guard, manage it the best of our abilities.
I think part of it is going to be winging it. But I can give you the layout of the building. And he will point out the center entrance, the front entrance to the building is a antechamber that has 2 sets of stairs that lead up to the second floor. But for the floor itself, there is the northeast wing, which is the actual Hall of Heroes. It is a series of busts, statues, and lifelike depictions of various members of the Dawnspire and other heroes that have come up through the time, along with a couple of things that they have defeated. There's also relics attributed to them. They are probably not real, but they are definitely depictions of it. The southwest wing of the southeast wing of the building is the cafeteria. The southwest wing of the building is the outer office and the inner office to the Hall of Transmutation, along with the stairs that lead down into the basement. While the northwest wing is the what did I write for that? I double check my notes. Looking up Night at the Museum. Yes, that's what it's called. The Hall of Ancient Wonders is depictions of various entities that they have discovered or fought against, including what is supposedly a skeletal version of a giant and creature they call a triceratops.
Ridiculous word.
And then there's the second floor, which is much in the same layout as before. It's the same design: Hall of Heroes, Hall of Antiquities, and stuff like that. With the southwest end of the second floor being a balcony. He will point out that there are technically 3 ways into the building, or 4 if you count the roof and want to make a rooftop entrance. There is a back door that leads right into the outer and inner offices, and also the cafeteria that seem to across from each other. On the outside of the cafeteria, there is a ladder that goes up to the second floor and onto the balcony. And then, of course, there is the front door. There are also numerous windows in many places that can probably be broken if you were really insistent about doing it that route. The roof top has access through a sky glass window that goes over the Hall of Antiquities. It also can drop into a courtyard and onto an overhanging balcony that leads into the second floor of the Hall of Heroes.
Bernard, I also have, I just had another idea. You're wearing a mask too, right? Obviously.
Yes, I will be wearing a disguise.
You can also we could maybe use detect magic with the masks on. They won't be able to see that we have it. We won't like us using it.
Well, they shouldn't be able to detect it regardless, but I mean, sure, they would certainly keep prying eyes from seeing shifty people searching around.
If there's anything that seems odd about, certain people that aren't definitely normal, then we have a reason to believe that we might need to keep a closer eye.
One of my first things on my list is, once we get to this party, is to finally investigate this Archmage of Transmutation to see if she is or if she is not a clone. Now, not being a clone doesn't necessarily prove her innocence. It just proves that if she's in on it, she's in on it of her own free will.
Right.
But being able to understand who has been replaced and who has not could go a long way in moving forward what we understand of what they're capable of doing and how we might start preventing it.
I'm just throwing ideas out into the open so that way we can all consider at least.
All right. Remind me to make some notes and go over with you about how you specifically detect the absence of magic that is typically shown to be blood magic. That'll make it a lot easier instead of just trying to detect the absence of magic in the air. That place might be radioactive with it, considering how many relics are hanging around, real or not. That'll go a long way in helping us ensure that we're getting accurate readings instead of not. For the most part, if we had a way to communicate, that would be immensely capable as well. There is a spell that I've been meaning to take in, but I haven't had a chance to do it yet. I don't suppose you...
Very telepathic bond.
He just looks at Tarek. I'm sorry, was I in the middle of something? Did I interrupt you?
No, I helped you out.
But you were going to prescribe this into your book?
I was wondering if you had already had a chance to do so, if you were capable of using it. If
Yeah.
we could get it ready for the ball, then it would mean that we could all communicate with each other regardless of where we are in the entirety of the hall.
I could do that. Like I said, I was thinking about going to the conservatory and jotting down some new spells, and I can put that on the list.
That one would certainly be helpful.
I'm sure the conservatory has it. I'll look around.
Fingers crossed. If memory serves, the spell itself follows under the divination school of magic. So if you can't find it in the conservatory proper, then look into the divination archmage, who Bernard would know this, but the player does not know who that is.
Cerulean would too, because that was the school he was going to go down into as well.
The Archmage of Divination is Miss Archmage Nahas.
Ah, I like that.
I like her.
I wonder why Cerulean was trying to study under her.
Right?
So I should just show the rest of them at this point.
If you have a rapport with her, that might help you out. Seems to be fitting for... God, she almost looks evil.
She right?
Don't let my glowing yellow eyes deceive you.
Really good person, deep down.
Yes, that'll work. As I said, this is not a situation that is ideal for me. I can't go running around using my typical forms of magic, so I'm going to be slightly inhibited when it comes to this particular event, but
This looks evil. That's so hard.
I'll have a few tricks that I'll be preparing to ensure that I am on par with what I need to be doing.
And if you need any help with any of it, I'll be willing to help.
I spent the better part of last night getting a lot of it done already. There might be a few spells I look into, but most of them are just in cases, and there's only so much you could prepare. Well, he kind of turns over and looks at 23, who, realizing 23 has been Mr. Quiet Boy, because there's been a lot to say. 23, your job is going to be very important here. You are responsible for keeping pretty much all of us safe whenever anybody gets in danger. I don't suppose... how good would you be if somebody, say, needed to be carried out of the building really fucking fast?
Are we talking like yeeted or...
I could find a window.
Oh boy.
Because as much as we acknowledge it, if a situation comes where somebody is in danger, the best person to protect them is going to be you, 23. You're a guardian through and through. Nothing's going to stop you from doing that job. If it comes between protecting one of us and protecting somebody them, don't hesitate if it comes to protecting them over us.
I will consider it heavily.
So that's all I can ask for. I'll let you do it, I think.
I can do it.
Well, if you can give us the layout for this, Talric, so we can study it on our own time, I imagine there'll be a lot of preparations we want to go through, but I think at this point it's just a matter of fine-tuning details.
I'll nod at that. I'll see about getting it to you.
Yes. Then, unless there's anything else?
I can't think of anything else.
So I will actually give you guys handouts for the place in just a moment. If I could find it, that would be fantastic. Here we go.
Planning can begin.
Yes. Here is the daylight maps. Here we go. Just one moment.
No rush.
Alrighty, there's one. I will give it to you guys just a second.
Oko, can you like sit on me in like a more comfortable position?
Hmm?
My cat.
Oh.
Sorry, did you ask me something?
He will then say, I only have the layouts for the first two levels. I do not have the layout for the basement.
I wouldn't expect you would if nobody can get down there.
There's level 1, and there's the ground level.
Ooh.
This is going to be an absolute nightmare to keep an eye on.
It does look like anyone on the second floor might be able to look down to some of those rooms, at least.
We have time to go over this and make sure we got this right. Thankfully, we have 11 days, not just 2. We can get this done. We got this.
Hmm.
It looks like we might have a lucky break, though. It seems like, God, my brain has just totally dropped the ball on most of these character names. I apologize.
There's a lot.
I'm just going to refer to it as the Assassination Transmutation. It seems like her office, the way that leads down into the basement, is directly above where the balcony is. And there are windows that lead into the entire second floor. If we were to hang out on the balcony, we could cover pretty much the entirety of one side of the building and the first floor without too much difficulty. Now, I would be willing to stand there and just keep a lookout by myself if that need be.
I would be probably more effective in the second floor too.
So, just to make sure I have everything clear, our main goal here is to make sure the High Mage does not die. Or become
Or get replaced.
Yeah. Just keep him safe, I guess. Just
It's the speculation of what they're going to try and do, but knowing them, they could just use this as a chance to embarrass us. They could do anything. They could try and turn that Triceratops, or whatever the hell it was called, back into a living creature and let it terrorize the lobby, for all I know. Though, I don't think that would move forward their plans very much.
Although I think they'd find it very funny, so they might just still do it.
It'd certainly make a great distraction.
To be fair, it would be pretty funny.
But
Lot of
you can.
agents of chaos.
I was about to
That's-
say yes.
That is the last thing I want to point out. Be careful of anything that happens here that is just meant to draw your attention away from what is really going on. These are masters of subterfuge, trying to start a fire in one wing of the building just to draw us all away while they infiltrate another. That seems par for the course.
Yes, and crud, I forget what's Bug Lady's name again.
Yana.
Yana. I was like, it begins with a Y. I almost said Yzma. That's wrong.
Yzma!
Sorry.
Wrong.
Anyway, I'll just be like, I can definitely see her trying to divert our attention. She seems like that sort.
Is there someone I should try and stay close to and kind of basically be that annoying guy at the party who won't leave you alone and keeps chatting you up all night?
Is that a person at a party?
Have you ever been to a party? There's always that person.
Full party, bro, right?
Try and go
10%.
get a drink and they're there and they want to tell you.
Tempest doesn't go to parties. Tempest is sad. I mean, I guess that would be Balthasar, but he's going to be pretty popular, I assume. Maybe you could try and
Oh.
ask him how to become an Archmage.
Roman, there's actually a quote I remember from back when I was training. I believe it was, most people seem to think that distracting a group of guys is best done by a beautiful woman. The problem with beautiful women is most people want to stick them around. which can cause a lot of problems. Obnoxious guys, on the other hand, they just want to get rid of.
It's a very long quote.
Also, I would like to point out to Reynard, what do you
That would be foolish.
I understand that. I only ask in the perspective of a person who works in covert intelligence. And I can say this with certainty. Powerful people don't like being pushed around. You can never quite predict what they're going to do, or have their guards do. The point is, blackmail is a little bit like owning a rabid, or at least a very dangerous dog. It might protect you, or it might bite your hand off. That's why it pays to make sure you know what they're thinking, and that means eavesdropping.
My only plans for Miss Croft is simple. I'm going to see what I can find out about her. This is a pleasant conversation with an individual who may or may not be against us, but it's not like we haven't had any of those since we've been here. I've spoken with several members of the Silent Dog just out of sheer dumb luck. Or perhaps intentionally.
Truan frowns at that.
Which ones have you spoken to? I know Yana is in town.
We spoke with Tyne when she was at the conservatory.
Who is Tyne?
Reinhardt just keeps watching him, and there's a moment where he's like, I just realized these guys are not nearly as well informed as I thought they were. That's unfortunate. Tyne was... her silent dog name was Tysephone. Fairly certain we mentioned her the last time we were here.
Not to me, no.
You were the only person we spoke to, so I have to assume it was to you.
Not that I remember, but okay.
I cast Detect Magic.
It doesn't work in this room.
This room is anti-magic?
Yes.
That doesn't spread. Do I perceive any, like, of the stuff we've been looking for at this point? Scent of blood,
Well,
strange...
23 also poked him.
Yeah, he's fine. He's
Oh.
normal.
He's just
you
forgetful.
cast a spell and it nothing happens. This is how we prevent from being spied on in this room.
There probably couldn't be an illusion in here then. Probably, not necessarily.
Well, if it's anti-magic, then...
No, if it was a
won't work.
magical illusion, it would fade. You have your methods to proving non-detection. We have ours.
Yes, well. I guess memory is just not what it used to be.
Happens to the
Regardless.
best of us. I don't have a keen mind.
Oh.
Truan tries his best to Eldritch Blast himself in the head. It won't work. It won't work.
Tempest just puts up a bow and let me handle that for you. Put you out of your misery.
Well, we can do more planning once we understand what we actually have access to. If we can get telepathic bond to work, then that makes communicating so much easier. We wouldn't necessarily have to stick so close together. We could split up room by room, as long as we're within earshot of each other. Well, not technically that earshot, but as long as within walking distance, quick pace, we could...
What if they use the bounded field effect again?
If they use the bounded field effect, then... We're gonna contemplate that for a second.
Fact.
And I don't think there's a whole lot we could do. I
Except
mean,
find the source.
That sounds lovely.
I've only experienced it once, and I don't know if dispel magic necessarily works on it, but it'll be something that I'm taking with me.
The only downside I see to using the Rary's telepathic bond is that I'd be casting it at a pretty high level if what you're saying is correct, which means they would know I'd be casting spells.
True, but it's specifically a divination spell, and as we've learned, the Alakim doesn't seem to have much issue with certain types of magic. They'll knock down your door for evocation, but if you're using something along the lines of divination or transmutation, they tend to just turn the other eye.
They'll still know you do it, so they may not come and deal with it though.
There's only I believe 2 or 3 now spells that I plan on describing, and all of them, if that's the case, they won't bother us with. What I think would the one I was definitely going to get may help us more than I think.
And actually, just to put this thought out there, I still have faith that the Alakim has not totally been taken over, that members of them are still working for the good of magic in this city. Calling them to that location might not be the worst thing to happen if we're trying to prevent a magical attack. Now, let's not do it on purpose, just to have them show up and cause an issue, but if it is something where it is incidental because something we've done happens, I'm not going to see that as a bad side. Just be careful who you're flinging spells at when everything goes down.
Let's hope that maybe even Alakim will be there too, like without us even having to do anything, just to keep an eye out.
Wouldn't they Sorry, I nearly lost power, I think.
To my knowledge, the Alakim doesn't act as gods for this type of social function. This would be not beneath them, but it's not their forte.
But isn't it high profile? They might.
This is, how do I explain it? It'd be like calling in the military to protect a wedding. I mean, the royal wedding, perhaps, but this is just an event that people are going to. There's nothing particular about it one way or the other that I believe would justify higher security. Now, there may be more guards there, but that'd be like, there's no point in calling in a naval force to protect something on dry land. It's not the purpose.
Right. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, totally fair. Just kind of throwing the question out.
It's like trying to explain, you don't call in SWAT for guard duty.
FBI, open.
Anyway, moving on from that topic.
So while you guys were discussing that, I was looking the floor plans over, and in a similar vein to what Renard pointed out about being able to cover 2 points, is the only way to go upstairs is the staircase at the front that I'm seeing.
There's also a ladder well
There's
on the
another.
right hand. There's a ladder behind the cafeteria that'll take you to the balcony.
And near the Triceratops, I think, too, if I remember correctly.
There are second
yes.
stairs up there. Yes.
Okay, never mind.
So there's a couple of ways up, actually.
There are a couple ways up. Never mind. But putting wherever the parties is, I mean, actually, like a taller. Do we know where the dancing and
First floor
main-
to the south, the northeast side. Be the Hall of Heroes.
So that room with all the statues, kind of almost a linear floor. Almost more like a hallway.
The L-shaped floor. Yeah.
Yeah. Not the Triceratops room, so hopefully no living Triceratops come to murder us.
It'll certainly make for an interesting evening.
Nice.
All right, I think that's all we can discuss here. Talric, this has been a large amount of information that will be useful, I imagine. Is any members of the Satlasai, are any of them going to be at this party to aid, or is this strictly a research and get the hell out scenario?
It's up to you.
I don't believe it is up to me. I believe it's up to you. You're the one who's in control here.
No, I mean the event and what goes on there will be up to you. We will get your weapons in. The Silent Dock is having a difficult time of it lately.
And for the sake of me, where are these flower pots going to be hidden?
Cafeteria.
And if I was an individual who couldn't tell the cafeteria just by looking at a map, I'm guessing the bottom right of the first floor? Okay.
Yes.
Just wanted to confirm so there's no confusion. All right, well, that is underneath the balcony and outside the front, so we can see anybody going to and fro. Good to know. All right, guys.
And he will furl up the maps and hand them to you.
We got some time. Let's make good use of it.
I will come to you the night prior to take your weapons.
Right back.
Good.
All right. Reynard will not take the maps. I'll trust that somebody will handle them.
I'll take the maps.
Good. That's who I was hoping would take them. They're the safest 23.
All right. And as you depart, you enter out into the basement and then up again. He does not follow you.
Well, that was a lot of information
Yes.
discussed.
Lots of thinking, lots of talking.
Feels like the only thing we do know is that Well, there's going to be a ball, and we have no idea what's actually going to happen at it. Everything's so up in the air.
Anything and everything could happen. Or nothing. Probably something.
That would be quite amusing, wouldn't it? If after all this time they're putting on this air and they're giving us the feeling that something terrible is going to happen, and then they're halfway across the city robbing the bank.
I was just going to say, are we not... Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna agree with you.
Like, are we certain that this isn't... You were talking about the fire in the other room. Are we certain this isn't that fire?
Well, perhaps, but at the same time, this is a public event, and it doesn't feel like they would just use this as a disguise. I mean, if they're looking to embarrass us, then saying, oh, look, we're over here going to do something, and then going to rob a bank that has nothing to do with us, that's not playing their game. I mean, it gets them what they want, but they're not playing against us. They're just playing against the home team.
I mean, unless they think they've outwitted us. I mean, maybe they consider that part of the win.
I mean, if they wanted to do that, they could rob the bank tomorrow, and we'd be none the wiser.
That's fair. That's fair.
Do we need to stop anywhere before we head home?
Not that I know of.
I was considering going to the industrial ward, but I think my money might be better saved for either things, what tools we might need for the party.
I mean, I assume it's still pretty early in the day, but
Yeah, relatively 10 o'clock.
pretty early.
All right.
I-
Officially, you guys have 11 days of downtime, or 10 days anyway of downtime.
Is that something we won't...
If you have things you want to do.
Thinking.
Unfortunately, Renard pretty much handled everything he wanted to do in the first downtime before we went to Niflheim.
I need to talk to Sertarian and tell him that his quote is 180,000 gold pieces for what he wants.
You know, when I put that number into perspective, I kind of choked a little.
Right?
Well, adamantine's very hard to come across.
Apparently.
Perhaps we ought to consider a different material.
I was thinking mithril.
I think
What's
that
that?
might be a little more affordable. Maybe adamantine when you're more rich, when you make it big.
Then we're only looking at 135,000 gold pieces.
You got that in your pockets, do you?
Yes.
If you sell your ship.
I don't even know if we could get enough of that much for
Yeah, what is the value on the wellspring?
But if we robbed a bank,
Oh, shit.
What do you have in mind?
I
Oh.
mean,
He's into it.
we do know the father. Oh, sorry, not the father. We do know the son of the Lord High Exchequer. How do you say it?
Yes.
Exchequer. And I'm sure he wouldn't miss a few thousand gold pieces.
You know, something tells me that if 135,000 gold went missing from my bank vaults, I would probably notice it.
Would you miss a dollar bill? Sorry, a dollar.
What?
So would you miss one gold piece if you had 10,000?
No. Is that how
That's-
rich he is?
I have good suspicion to believe he has a fuckload of money, good sir.
Not his money, it's the city's.
This seems like a well thought out
And-
plan for you.
I also happen to know where it is.
The Exchequer
and,
building.
Well, oh no, that would be obvious.
Gives you a confused look.
Where but the Montelier estate, my friend.
Oh, you had to rob that.
I mean,
I actually have a battle map for that entire map. I'm not gonna lie. I have the entire Montelier estate. I also have the Autumn Hall estate.
I don't want to fight in my home, man.
Just in case you guys decided to do stuff there, I built battle maps for that. What the hell are you cats doing?
Home is where the fight is.
I mean, what do you? We haven't really been up to any shenanigans, Satari. I mean, what do you say? Are you up for a heist?
It's not really my call. I'm not much for heisting things. You can call your friends for that one, though.
Yeah, they would be down for it. Talkatiel, that's a lot. A lot. Renaud will say, dear, 23. Do you know how much security it is in my home and blah, 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 blah. And then I'll be like, yes, you're right. I'm sorry I tried to steal thousands and thousands of gold from your family. Please don't disown me as a friend.
What if you blamed it on the brother?
Oh, I fucking hate that guy. He's such a dick. He's a colossal dick. And guess what? I totally would peg him as the type of person that would totally try to steal thousands. Oh, I have to go talk with someone. Good luck.
He will try to high five you.
I will high five him. Second. That's 15 to hit.
He's fine.
Okay.
He is 16 AC.
They got it. Solid high five. All right.
Just break his hand.
Anyways.
Oh, he's a kitty. All right. What else are we gonna do? Is 23 gonna have that conversation with Reynard?
Eventually. I don't know. I mean, we have 11 days. I suppose I could. I'll go knock on his door.
Yes.
It's important regarding your brother.
Which one?
I thought you only had one brother.
Well, Bertram's here on the ship.
Right.
And then Jacques is... Jacques is Jacques.
I need to apologize to Bertram. I completely forgot he was your brother. You guys have just very different personalities.
I'm not going to lie, I don't imagine he'd be very offended.
Anyways, no, it is about Jacques.
What did he do?
I mean, I have a plan to do stuff. And I mean, how much do you care about your brother on a scale of 1 to he could be in prison? For all I care.
Well, he is still my brother, even when he's an asshat. He's still family.
True. I've never taken you much for a family man, though, or not.
Let me put it this way, 23. 24 was an asshole, right?
No, 25 was. 24 is the name of my horse.
That's right. 25 was the asshole. God, all the numbers are just starting to mix together. That's a bad sign for my brain.
Well, there's only 50 of us.
25 was an asshole.
Yes.
And you fought by his side in I can't imagine how many battles.
A lot.
Was there any time that he was in danger? That you had to save his life?
Yes.
Despite the fact that he's an asshole, you still wanted to save his life.
It was different. There was a greater threat.
You can give it the excuse if you want to, 23, but in the end, just because somebody you're not on the best terms with doesn't mean you still don't care about them.
That's fair. All right, well, I'm just going to come out and say it. I need 135,000 gold pieces, and your dad's got the fucking check to cash it.
Bernard just kind of stares blankly for a moment.
That's real. He doesn't need 135, and he's like, what, 180?
Well, for the Mithril, it's 135,000.
Yeah, if you want the adamantine, though.
Don't forget the Marsaran tax.
I'll settle for Mithril.
I'll settle for that.
23, just so I can give you the most fraction of an idea of what that conversation might go like, let me explain to you a story of my youth. When I was younger and I started attending the conservatory, there was an incident with a burning hand spell, and I wound up burning down some drapes, 50 gold pieces worth.
Mm-hmm.
When I came home, my father was expected to pay that because it was my fault.
Mm-hmm.
50 gold pieces.
Mm-hmm.
He set me doing odds and ends clerical work for his business for 2 years
Ah.
for 50 gold pieces. 2 gold pieces a day, 1 extra gold piece for each year of work. Sorry, 2 gold pieces a month.
Are you doing the math?
50. Oh, so 25. 1 second, 2.
The math adds up 23, trust me.
I know. 1 second. I know that math works. I'm just calculating something else real quick. Okay. So, I mean, we
The man
could...
has never
mean,
given away a coin in his life.
But if Shock happened to be imprisoned for, by that rate, approximately 27,000 years,
My point is, 23, you are not going to get a single piece of gold, copper, silver, or what have you from that man. He is notoriously stingy. And as a matter of fact, between you and me, from what I've heard, my family's finances aren't in the best of shape right now.
well, I wasn't going to ask.
So you were going to rob from my family, 23?
Well, no, because your dad...
Knowing full well...
No, I know,
because
I know.
I would be inheriting the family,
Yes.
you would be robbing from me.
And you would forgive me because you are such a kind individual and you care for me very much. But, however, this wasn't where... Not from your family, but from the city's gold that happens to be within your family's estate.
So you are going to rob from the city that we are trying to protect, that we have an utter fear that is going to have something happen with this money that would destabilize the economy and potentially ruin thousands of lives.
Conversations went like this, then went like a little like this, and now it's just going like this.
It's all this now. It's all this. It's 90 degrees.
Renaud, come with me.
By the way, Beth, you muted.
As he goes to leave the door, he just kind of turns around and he looks at Tamari and says, "Tamari, if I hear any word of you being in the upper Middlemark ward, I'm taking away your coins." And he closes the door.
And I will take him to Soterian's lab.
Okay.
And I will open the door. Soterian.
Yes.
And I will bring in Renaud. Renaud. Soterian. Clearly we
We've
know
met
each other.
before.
Yes, I know. Soterian, I think we need to show Renaud what we've been working on for the past few months.
Very well.
I think he needs to understand the gravity of why I need so much fucking money.
I will humor you. Just what is it you've been working on?
Beth?
Sorry, my headphones just decided they were done for a second there.
Oh, it's all good.
Soterian will go over to one of the desks and he'll pull out 6 blueprints that, as he lays them over the top of one another, you can see designs for a mechanical combat tiger.
So, I am not an expert
it's
engineering 23, but what I'm looking at appears to be a design for a giant mechanical cat.
that is collapsible in on itself, can function
Yes.
as a mount, and shoots lightning from its eyes.
Yes.
Reynard just kind of looks over at Soterian, and you believe that this is a practical application. You can actually get it to do this.
You are standing next to a creature that can literally shoot lightning out of its butt.
I don't doubt that he exists. My question is, are you capable of successfully making this?
I've been working at it. I think it's mathematically possible. Yes. I don't have the materials yet. Adamantine is preferred, but mithril will work. And I don't quite have the magic yet. I'm missing something.
Yes, we're currently debuckling the whole, you know how I have a soul, and we're trying to figure out how to make this thing more than just a machine and give it a personality and actually fight with Frosty the Cat instead of just lightning, zzz, like that type of thing.
Think Celia's notes might have something that could lead you into what you need to see for that?
I do.
Possibly, yes.
I need her notes. Because this is not just a golem. This is a sentient creature that I am creating. And like any sentient creature, it needs a spark of life, and I don't know the mathematics. I don't know the magic for that.
Okay. Well, let me give you a potential concept. Does this creature have to be made out of mithril or adamantine? Could it be potentially just made out of well-forged steel?
I mean, if I disrupt the quality, it will go down in durability.
Hey, Setarian question.
Yes.
I don't know if you ever answered it. What am I made of?
That is a great question.
I'll put down my arm. Have him look at it.
I actually didn't write that down.
Well,
Shit.
Good job.
It's a combination of wood and metal.
I'm wood, but I was just wondering what type of metal. I know the wood, but
I don't know the wood.
So this is my question.
Magic
My father's
steel?
a businessman. He is a businessman through and through. And if he sees a money-making opportunity, he is likely to jump on it. If you can build one out of steel, which I have to assume would be a far more affordable material than mithril and adamantine, and you can prove that it works, then you could sell it to him. And I
think we
imagine
can
he'd be
invest
more
in it.
than willing to fund the rest of the project. Now, your prototype would not be made out of the material you want, but it would certainly take you along. It would take you farther getting money from my father than anything, assuming, of course, that we can organize it. I mean, hell, if these things work the way you want, you could even sell them to Marcera for defense, though I'm not sure how you'd feel about that, considering how they treat the other constructs around here.
Well, the problem lies in 2 points. 3 points, really, if you count your father. I don't have the investment for it.
not
The
do I.
gold required alone is absurd. I would have to access you-know-what, and I don't have you-know-what I need.
How much raw material do you need?
300 pounds.
300 pounds. And by my math of, as I look up in the PHB of what steel should be going for, give me one moment.
I think it's iron is in there. Steel is not.
Okay, iron, whatever iron material we can access to use. By my check, I'm never going to find this page, it would be significantly cheaper to build this out of iron than it would be out of mithril. Now, I have coin to put on this. If it would be something that obviously I could get repaid back in time, I am my father's son after all. I imagine 2,000 gold pieces would be more than enough to start working at the raw iron component for this.
Yeah, that's probably. But again, without the magic, it would just be a
Yes,
lump.
we will work on getting the magic for this as well. This is something that we can table. You keep working on your designs. Ensure that there's not going to be stress fractures out of this thing if it's made entirely out of iron. I have to assume that might be an issue considering, but admittedly, my knowledge of iron is not as great as probably either of yours. Just
If you ever get a chance, talk to Acilia Evenwind. If she's using magic from across the sea, she might have magic tech, that armor or metal of some sort that I might be able to use.
And she's the one making the constructs.
She is.
Yes.
what do you think she's going to be at that party?
I don't know.
Well, I'd say probably highly likely. I mean, she's brought what incredible technology to the city. I'd probably say she's one of the wealthiest ladies in the entire town.
No, we're still not sure if she's working for the Silent Dark or not. But if you were considerate, 23, it might be worth just talking to her. And these individuals who helped us build Magitech, they could offer some exciting insights on how this process could be simplified. Now, I don't want to divulge anything about this project without your permission. After all, it's both of y'all's pet projects, but depending on who you want to talk to, this could be a lot easier for you. It could be even cheaper. Hell, they may have sources of adamantine that they could supply for it.
Well, as far as I know,
Depending.
she's from the Empire of Ostagon. That's far to the south. Ambassador, extraordinary plenipotentiary, something like that.
Well, we have time. We can go talk to her, and I'm sure she will be more than tickled pink to talk to me or Cole.
No doubt. In my own little mind, I actually like to think that Celia probably got the schematics for you from them.
For some reason, that gives Renard a little smile. Like, he just grins to himself, and he just doesn't say anything about it.
The DM wants to know in on that insight, but okay.
All right. Well, I suppose we can go find her.
I will start working on a steel construct.
Sounds good. See, also, I'll try to get you a bunch of different metals, see what will work. You see what might fit the best as far as bending and things like that, mechanical parts, what works and what won't. I'll try to get as many metal samples as I can.
Certainly. Bronze will work very well. It's durable.
I understand that this is not what you originally had planned, 23, but it's a stepping stone to finishing this project. I have to admit, I'm curious, very curious. This is the work that Dawnspire did before us, and in a strange way, it feels like following in their footsteps to do this, which Bernard's grin kind of fades. You know how I feel about that, because being compared to the Dawnspire.
I do, but this is different. They were doing it for you do. Serious business. I want a fucking cat that I can ride into battle on.
And shoot lasers out of its eyes.
And shoot lasers out of its eyes. Because that is so cool.
Let it never be said, 23, that you did not have a heart of gold.
Actually, opens up his chest.
It is a metaphor, 23. A metaphor.
I mean, oh.
It just means that you are truly something special. You are more than the sum of your parts.
Well, I appreciate it.
Right. I need to head to the conservatory. There's 1 or 2 spells I want to pick up. Do you want to go? I have something I need to pick up from Elbeth's, I believe.
Sure. See if we can figure out where Silly is while we're on our way.
We can head to the industrial world afterwards, see if we can't find a good deal on cheaper materials for your product.
Ooh, that actually reminds me. Would I be in the conservatory right now? Because I did say I was going to go after we spoke
Probably.
with Talric. Okay, yeah.
Just working. Sitting in the library scribing scrolls?
Yes.
What are you scribing? Did you buy it from the conservatory?
Yes, I would have bought it from the conservatory.
Yeah,
I would have bought...
You get it at fair market value.
Cool. I want to buy Rary's telepathic bond, commune, and commune with nature.
Patron, are you there? It's me, Cerulean.
Answer my fucking questions or else.
I'm sorry. Whenever I hear the term commune, that's what I shouldn't interrupt. I apologize.
To be fair, Erzani and Cerulean have a pretty good relationship, which is really weird when you really look into like other warlock patrons.
Alrighty. Rary's telepathic bond. Let me double check. It's 5th level. My 5th level scroll price for the conservatory as my PDF is loading.
While you're looking it up, Renard's going to look up invisibility as well, just the 2nd level spell. Just to throw that on there.
Scroll level 5 is 640 gold.
640?
Yes.
Okay.
Roman, while all these nerds are doing the thing, you want to go to the Vice and gamble?
Is that each or all together?
Each.
Each, okay.
Level scrolls are 640 gold apiece.
Okay. I need to not do commune with nature then. Just commune and Rare's telepathic bond. So that's, what, 1280? No, 1380?
Are you asking me for math?
640 plus 640 is 1280.
Okay, I was right the first time. Okay, I don't know. I was thinking 1380. I was like, oh, go past that. It's like my brain's fucked right now.
Not 690. Not 690. No.
It's going around.
I was actually considering going there, but I've had coin burning a hole in my pocket, and feel like if there's any time for us to buy something expensive, it would be for this plan. The only thing I can think of that I might need is more ball bearings and more caltrops, and that's like
and more cowbell.
Another wand of wonder. Fire
on the
two
fence.
at the same time.
I was gonna say, I was like, I think I might have to shelve it because the wand of wonder ticks all the boxes of what we don't want. Indiscriminate. It hits everything.
I don't know why I like the idea of Roman having like a hidden blade wand of wonder just.
But the world isn't prepared when you drop an elephant into the Hall of Antiquities.
Yeah.
Roman doesn't know
Literally
why, but at the top right of his screen, it just said reputation with Renard went up 1.
Just a little, but still good.
I mean, when he sees me pull it out because I can't decide on something else, it might go back that one. But regardless, I have about 5k gold, and I have nothing I need.
How much?
5,000?
Damn.
I don't spend it. I tried to spend it on a sword, and then Renard bought it, and then they keep buying stuff for me, so I spent like a little bit, like
Oh.
1,000 on that random scroll that I bought.
I guess I can't say I have about 4,500, including my platinum. So never
Right.
mind.
So I, was,
I don't know why I'm being surprised.
I mean, it's a lot of money.
Feels like a lot of money, yeah.
So I was considering, maybe I go to the industrial ward. And I had a plan, kind of future thingy. I could see if I could get someone to do what I need construction-y people, but this doesn't help us now. So
You can always get Saltarian to do that if you really need it.
Hmm.
I'm sure he builds all sorts of weird things.
do you think if we pooled our cash together, we could get something really cool at Kalis's?
This is the glue again. This is the glue all over again.
I'm looking at you suspiciously and like what?
I mean, so, something that's more subtle than pull the wand of wonder like than this. Maybe they have like a wand of secret wonder or something.
Tiny wand of wonder?
Oh my god, like a finger wand.
I
Wand
mean,
of tiny surprises.
we can go there first, and if we feel like we need more gold, we could go gambling.
Yeah,
We're gonna have
I
to-
mean that's a smart way. If we need cash, we can just go gamble and get more.
That's how
Got to
people
ask
do it,
this.
right?
Yeah, I forgot to ask, but do they provide the ink?
They do.
That saves money.
Not.
But
Don't say that. Don't say that.
I mean, I'm not doing anything else, so I could go to Kalis's and then maybe go to the Vice. I'd not hate to see if they have anything new to say to us, but probably not.
Yeah, and I mean, Sky wasn't that bad when I was there last time. So if I'm spending cash, and she should be fine.
She
Maybe we can
hates
bet on.
me. How about you do the betting and she just glares at me and maybe you win?
Like I said, just don't play with her. She usually cheats. But then again, we all usually cheated.
I kind of assumed she cheated.
You're not cheating, you're not trying.
I couldn't tell last time, but I know her tells this time.
You don't.
I don't. I'm gonna try though.
Beth, were you kidding about the ink? I don't know.
Yeah, they provide the ink.
Alright, so Kalis's? We haven't seen the daily deal today.
We have not.
First for me.
Turning to Kalis' shop, you will find it closed.
Son of a bitch.
She is
Beth
not
be
there.
like, you motherfuckers aren't turning this into a shopping episode.
No, it's not that. There's a reason she's not there.
I was about to say, you're shopping for spells. We gotta shop for shit too.
I'm actually scribing spells. There's a difference.
Let me double check my the
Is there?
important stuff. The
Yes.
ball bearing.
Well, I mean, is there any other place around here that we can maybe get something good?
I mean, you did a lot of underground stuff. Do you still have any people that like sell stuff black market style?
You mean like Warwick, who's currently at the Vice in hiding? Yes, all my contacts are in hiding or in jail.
Hmm.
Bit of
Isn't
a
we
problem.
still at the Dawn Runner?
Core?
Or
Core? Okay.
Core and Fire Monk.
She has
I
a
just-
name!
She does.
It's not Eleanor.
I
It's
just thought of
not
the most
Eleanor.
evil magic item for Roman. Ball bearings of confusion.
Anyway, I don't know if there's any. No. Are there any other magic shops in the area, or is she kind of it?
There's a few, just Kalis is the big one.
Probably won't find anything special then.
Let's see. If you were going to go shopping in Marcera for magical items, where would you go? As I pull
Where
up my
would
own
we
notes.
go?
always just pour oil over my ball bearings and I can light them on fire.
I'm looking as well. I'm trying to find
Fireball
like
bearings.
curses. Why must she be gone? I-
There is the Silver Guard Spire, which functions as a library, but does also have some stuff. There is, I believe, Just Smashing does sell some.
Smashing. I love it.
Also, the Lionheart Armory will also have, as well as Sword and Board.
Would I know from my time? Would any of them sell like magical ammo? I was hoping to like refill.
Nope.
library is probably the best one to check out, just because we want something more subtle.
Well, let's
Find
go.
magical ammunition at a library.
I
Never think to go there.
now he's looking for the tiny magic wand of wonder. What is he looking for?
I was mainly looking to see if there was a shop that had a pun with the name glue in it. Like, who knew it was glue? And just like we sell so much glue.
I'll make that for the next town, I promise.
No.
All right. Cerulean and Reynard are currently at the conservatory.
Yes.
Okay.
Guess we could just go to Cheapside and walk around. You're from there too.
Classes spent at the conservatory, if you're going to spend any time with Sylvan, are going to run through a retinue of evocation classes, geography classes, note-taking and study courses, because apparently she's not a very good note-taker or studier. She's absolutely gifted when it comes to casting magic, but asking her to remember the components for a fireball, and she just kind of blanks on you.
Reynard answers that question, the total nerd that he is.
Just pushes up glasses. Yeah, I know.
Excuse me, you need this.
It's actually back guano.
Yeah, what's the components for lightning bolt? Without looking.
Oh no, it's charred stick.
No, it's not.
Shit.
I mean, the player me doesn't know.
You have to catch lightning to use it. Duh.
She's not very good about memorizing spell components. She's, why do I need spell components? I just...
Does she say that when Reynard is around? I have to ask.
Yeah, probably.
Reynard will say, okay. He'll walk up and just hold a hand out. Let me see your wand.
Hands you the wand.
He will take the wand, assuming this is her arcane focus. He'll step back and say, try it again.
Cerulean's like halfway like doing his scribing. He like looks up to watch.
Nothing happens.
Do you know why that is?
Because you took my wand?
This is a substitute for material components. If you don't have this, then you need them. Yes, this offers as a fine substitute, but it can never substitute entirely. And Reynard will gesture over towards a small patch he has on the side. Reynard has a component pouch. He has a backup. He's not an idiot. If you don't have one, you need the other. And he'll hand her a wand back.
Takes it indignantly.
Personally, I say take.
Shake. You're mean.
Personally, I say take both. You never know when you might be disarmed one day.
I should wear a circlet, or a bracelet. Something that can't be stolen from me easily. It's like chop off my head or my hand.
I really hope that doesn't happen.
Me too.
I'm personally a fan of rings.
Rings are good.
Would you buy me a ring?
If you're good.
I'm always good.
Can I see your notes from the last class then?
I thought I was good at that.
Cerulean actually does kind of chuckle and he goes back down to scribing his spell.
Give it some work. We'll talk about this after the first year of your university. I already gave you a wand. And he'll kind of gesture at the fact that it is still burning with blue flames. I think it's a pretty good one.
Oh, it's a great wand. But it's not a ring.
He just pats her on the head. He goes back to scribing his own spells.
She just poke, please. There are any number of times with just Reynard, Ray.
And Cillian's amount of focus is unbelievable. Like, he's been through this his entire life. He's the youngest of like three older siblings. He has been through this. He knows how to deal.
She will spend time playing with Tamari, though.
Sure.
Okay. Are you guys going to the Vice?
Seems like we can't find a shop, so
Might as well.
might as
Roll
well.
a 1d2.
You want to buy some potions? I got some good potions here.
Let me look for my 1d2.
Just type /R 1d2.
I know, I gotta move over here.
You want to buy some cigarettes? I really got chocolate.
Ew.
Okay. Roman?
Oh, I didn't know if it was both of us or not.
Yep, both of you. All right. Now both of you roll a 1d100.
Sure.
And now roll a 1d10.
Ah, so many things.
All right. Roman, you lose 31 gold, 9 silver. Tempest, you gain 47 gold, 4 silver.
47.
Over the course of your time at the Vice.
I'll just look at Roman and be like, that was really lucrative.
Just 31 gold, 9 silver.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah, it wasn't my day.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right.
Anyone try and like call us out or anything like to the
No,
side?
it's relatively quiet. Nobody really bothers you at this place unless you actively start bothering other people.
Okay, not looking.
If you're
for
just
that.
gonna run the machines and play cards, no.
Yep.
All right. Then, if nothing else happens, then 10 days will pass.
Oh shit.
If you guys, unless you guys have something else you want to do.
There is. Okay, there's one thing I want to do, but I do require to get some holy water.
You're not gonna go back to your house.
I will attempt to, but I want to do something before that.
I can make you holy water.
How long would it
holy
take
water.
though?
Not long. Go
You
ahead.
can also buy it.
That's what
Right.
I'm saying. I'll just buy 2 vials.
Yeah, like 50 gold a pop, I think.
No, that's not bad. Okay. I'll do that.
Whoa.
25 piece.
25.
Oh, then.
Oh.
Cool. Give me a
I can
second.
make it for like a couple of silver.
Thank you for a couple of silver.
It's
That's-
literally 25 gold pieces worth of silver powder.
That's right, it is. Never mind then. I have to
I
crush
know
it for
that.
silver. I never get to use that ability, so I was like, what is it exactly?
While he's spending time at the conservatory, Renard is going to make a point of flagging down Angela and speaking with her as well.
Okay.
And basically just saying, so are you planning to go into this masquerade ball?
No, I have class.
That might be for the best. It's not going to be, just keep an eye on things here at this conservatory. I know, Balasa is going to be there as well as, I looked up her name so I would specifically remember it, and my brain's just like, wait, you were trying
Madison
to remember
Croft.
something?
Madison Croft.
Madison Croft. I kept thinking Roft for some reason. I was making it a conjecture.
Roth.
They're both going to be there, and we're going to be attending as well, believe it or not.
Looks like I'll be in charge of the conservatory for a little while.
Yes.
There's a grin there, a mischievous grin.
Here.
Don't do anything that. Well, you'll definitely do something that I wouldn't do, but don't do anything that that I would regret.
Sure.
Reynard chuckles, believing that that was a good joke.
Oh.
Just keep a careful eye out. You never know how things might go down.
You know, Reynard, you're cute sometimes and you act really protective. I'll be fine. The conservatory is well in hand. Your young protege is well in hand.
I felt the same way until I came in one day and a demon lady had modified my young friend's memory and was masquerading around without so much as a how do you do in these very halls.
Yes, well. Worse things can happen, I suppose, to the things we love and care about.
Yeah. Because if anything happens to Balasar, then you'd be next on the list.
Madison's next in line.
Well, yes. Technically, you're right, I suppose. I'm sorry.
But thank you for thinking of, if you want to promote me, then by all means. Do you have that power? Adventuring groups can do that.
When I solidify my position in the Alakim Arcanum, I'll see what I can do.
Certainly. When you become a magical police force that imprisons people without their warning or consent. By all means.
Alright, that's just checking in on you.
All right.
He's going to also, this is not something that needs to be discussed. He's going to keep a careful eye on Elora for the next couple of the next 10 days, every other day or so, just making sure she's fitting in well enough.
The only notable event with Elora is at one point Lapis comes by. And there is a little bit of a row between them.
Do we take it off the ship at least?
They do.
God.
But apparently there is a point of contention of an argument you missed at some point, and they take a couple swings at each other. And for the most part, it's a dead tie.
Terrifying. Yeah, I was something I was actually gonna do, kind of like Renard was saying. I was gonna actually like spar with her every day, not the full-on sparring we did today, but you know, kind of working with her if she does her exercises and stuff, and trying to kind of.
If you fight with her every day, you're going to walk away with a black eye every day.
Probably yes. That's how you get better. So yeah, I'll do that. And I guess by the time we come back, I'll have a black eye.
Okay. Trillion.
I want to do this before, like a couple days before. Obviously, I do want to go to the house at some point and try to get the journal, but before that, I want to cast Commune.
Okay.
On the ship, obviously.
We've established this before. Divination doesn't work on the ship.
Oh, that's right.
I thought it doesn't. I thought it just doesn't work in the room.
No, the entire ship is protected from divination.
Ooh.
Oh, if it's
Yeah,
It's sound and sight that the war room protects from.
maybe just like find a nice grove somewhere or the beach.
Actually, then if I'm going to do this, I'd rather do this with a bit of protection. I would ask 23 and Renard if they could accompany me while I try to get a bit of information for the future.
Where are we going?
Somewhere calm, somewhere where we won't be overheard, and somewhere where it's quiet.
All right. I mean, we have time. 23, you have any issue with this?
No.
As they leave, I'll look at them and be like, they never want us around.
I was gonna say, like, man, 23 and Renard always get picked up for this.
Yeah.
Well, probably at this point, you're probably sparring with Elora.
True. I just is more of a like when we're alone. It's like it's just us on the ship again. Okay.
They'd probably pull out Anari and be like, he's probably just jealous that me and Anari we're like this already, and he's still working on it.
You know, is she really nice? Is Anara really nice?
She brought me back from the dead.
I mean, just on a day-to-day basis.
Warned us about the Red Hand.
You're right. She's very nice.
Yeah.
Vasily doesn't talk to me.
Not me do anything evil yet, so can't be bad.
I'll say probably at one of the beach fronts. I'll find a nice spot, kind of clear off some space.
Wipe
some
away
in.
sand from sand.
Well, I think I can. That's fine. I don't care if I get sand on me. He just sits down in the sand. He puts a few sticks of incense in the sand to stick it up, lights them, and then he'll pour some holy water like on the actual sand, like around the incense, and then he will start ritual casting Commune.
Okay. Your vision ascends to a realm of higher existence, and you find yourself also on a beach, of all places. You can see your patron, her wings folded about herself as she sits, her legs folded beneath her, almost as if she is in meditation. Next to her is a ephemeral spirit-like form, but as your consciousness approaches, the spirit-like entity floats away, vanishing from sight, for her grace will turn to you.
He takes a moment because he's actually looking at her face to face now, and he'll say, "Hello." Right. Questions. I'm sure there's the ball coming up. I'd like to get a general idea of what they're doing, so I'll ask this. Are they planning on assassinating Balthazar?
I don't know.
Two more. Was the Aunt Kellen that I saw down in the Silent Eye, was that truly her?
Wait, what?
Remember, his mother told him that Aunt Kellen was. They had the Silent Dark had Aunt Kellen.
No.
If they're going after balance, is Renard's mother gone?
No. As you feel your consciousness fleeting away from it, she extends a hand out and takes your hand. And as you startle awake, you are holding a single letter in your hand that all of you can see.
That was a good magic trick. How'd you do it?
It's not supposed to happen.
Very confused.
I'll open the letter.
Wall of text crits you.
Ooh.
Suppose you can share what you learned of this, Aurelian.
I asked if they were trying to assassinate Baldassar. She didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
The Kellen that we saw in the Silent Eye, that was not her. She is somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Your mother is alive.
Renard kind of considers that for a second. I see. Well, we just ran into a problem then.
Which is?
Because if the Silent Dark have infiltrated the Sightless Eye, then they may know exactly what we're planning to do at the party. Now, I know that technically only one person was in that room, but if any information is spread out, then... I'm going to send a message to Tarek.
I need to give this to my father, and he will wave the letter. This is I haven't finished reading it all yet, but from what I've read so far, it's important. And I trust him with it.
Okay. And with the mystery ended, is we're going to end tonight's session. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. I know that I certainly did. We didn't quite get to where I thought we were going to. The episode is probably going to be left titled for the next one. Sorry there, Voice of God. These guys like the roleplay a lot, and I didn't expect a fight. So it's okay. It's okay. It's coming. Probably next session. I believe we're going to be missing Mr. Connor for a little while. What, 2-3 sessions?
Next week for sure Yeah.
Is this where we learned that 23 went to Renard's father to try and talk to him personally, and 23 and Renard's father just put him to work? Like, if you're gonna get anything out of me, you're gonna work for it.
Do I have a deal for you?
The actual point of this story is who is going to be controlling Mr. 23 next session.
That's up to him, I think.
I think I've nominated Lake in the past, so
Okay.
Give him
Give
him a chance to melee stuff, because he never gets a chance to melee stuff, it seems.
Aw.
Give me some time at this party. We'll see what happens.
I've actually seen a wizard kill a werewolf with a dagger once. That was really funny. Anyway. You guys got anything you want to put out?
Good.
Nope.
So
Everybody have fun?
just stay safe out there.
Had fun.
Don't do
I'm
drugs.
excited. I get to go to Alaska next or a couple months.
Yay!
Visit the wife.
Hooray!
All right, kids. I will see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.